diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jet, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring sun up, baby.
Hey yo, Scotty, we back.
Yo,
Appreciate you for
Keem,
reaching
you a
out.
star.
I'm like, hey, it's Outspoken. A lot changed. Granted, the concept we still hosting. Giving you the fix you need when on the screen. The veteran, Captain Petty, giving you medicine. Come tap in. You know Scott gon' do what he do. Might not want to hear it, but here go the hard truth. Perry about the numbers, regret if you're not fact-based. When you run your lane, the numbers seem like a statue. Wait. Hey, Scotty, man, I'm not feeling it. I don't think the people feeling it. Let me get in my bag a little bit, just showing what this Outspoken really about to be like. Outspoken, this is more than conjecture. These days they laying people off. So glad that we got our own. Hunger insatiable, made for you if you say you objective. Hard truth offering, no offense, just perspective. Come get your dosage and go with me. We spit it like poetry. The pivot was pivotal. Could rhyme here, but I'd rather not. Some say Scotty, some call him Scott. The best one since Stewart. If you know, then you know. But if you don't, then you lost. Let me be frank for a minute, cause we all know that's how Perry be. Breaking down the game for what it was, no apologies. This my hypothesis, you tune in, you like watching it. It's common sense, obvious, competent, rugged, and confident. Hey, we outspoken. We outspoken. We outspoken. This is Outspoken, and we go It's Outspoken.
Hey, backpack. I think we got another one.
I think we got another one. Happy Monday. You already know what it is, boy. It's your boy Scotty. You already know what it is. It's Outspoken Monday night, primetime television. Only place you need to be. And it could be nothing without my brother from another. Oh, I ain't even got your theme song, man. You know what I'm saying? Southern didn't really play nobody, so I ain't really put nobody. Let me get the net guy. I gotta get him his net. No homo. Let me see here. Where can this thing be at? Where is it? I don't even know where it's at. Let me see. There we go. Let me cue it up for him, because I feel, he got mad. He was like, Mike got his. He's like, Mr. Campbell got his. He's like, I need mine. So I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Let me cue it up. Let's try this again. All right. And the show will be nothing without my brother from another, Perry White. Is that a bed sheet?
It's a towel, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Look at that, a bed sheet?
It's a towel, man. I took it to the hotel.
I'm like, hey, man, we got a bed sheet up?
No, man.
No, black people do. When they ain't got no curtains, when they hang that bed sheet up real quick. Makeshift curtains.
Black folks too. We take towels, so
Oh, listen.
Hey.
My kids be using hotel towels like it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? I bring about 3 or 4 of them jokers on back.
Hey, that's when I be at that game and I be having a little warm out there in the South.
Yeah.
What's up?
Man, nothing, chilling, man. It's just, just living the life. But listen.
I said, behold!
Y'all lost!
I said, behold!
Behold, that green and gold lost. And to me, honestly, I thought that was a gimme game. If I'm being honest, I thought that was a gimme game.
They got to be played, Scotty. That's what happens. The game's got to be played.
Yeah.
We'll get to it when it's time to get to it.
I just wanted to start it off right.
I said, behold!
I love it, though. Don't you love it, though? Play it one more time for the people in the back.
I said, behold!
Behold! They got that ass whooped.
They didn't get that ass.
You lost to
the L is a L. They didn't get their ass.
You lost to a D2 team, then you lost to a winless in-cat team with a freshman quarterback?
You ever heard when they say it on the shirt, it say shit happens? That's what happens.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Just saying, dark horse. That's what you said, dark horse.
Hey, last week you was singing to another tune.
It was in-cat. Well, that's all. In-cat was winless. They couldn't beat nobody.
You picked Norfolk.
That's what I said, because it was a winless Norfolk in-cat.
You see, I know when your voice get high like that, come on now. You right there in the boat with me last week.
Dog. Yeah, because you're going against a winless North Carolina A&T.
We'll get to it. It happened. I don't know what you want me to do. We can teleport, go back in time. Me and you can be on the sideline and be like, "What? Behold." I don't know what you want me to do.
Just behold, they lost.
I'm beholding the L is what I'm doing.
And then hold it close, tight.
Yeah.
Tight too.
You hold it with me too. You make sure you put it up.
They not my dark horse though.
Oh, that's okay. Your dark horse was Morgan State.
Yeah, and they still like that. Morgan State.
Your front runner was Texas Southern.
With Andrew. Andrew. Without the body, what else can function? Ooh.
You like on Coming to America when they was talking about boxers, and he said why they always gotta bring up Rocky Marciano? You always bringing up Rocky Marciano.
Without Andrew, what really is that team?
The way you was talking, like if they went out, they did necessary things.
For Andrew. Andrew is not there.
I just feel like if you put pieces around Andrew, and if that's going to be the catalyst to get them over the hump, those pieces should be stepping up, regardless if Andrew is not. They are who I thought they were, the same team that lost to Alabama and them in the
Same team that beat you twice.
They did.
And
That's all you got.
Left you scoreless. I'm talking about team. I'm talking about what happened when Andrew there. When Andrew there, y'all ain't got a chance.
Whatever. That's all. If that's what you're gonna hang your hat on, I hope it sit high.
It's hung. Cause it ain't no going back. That's facts. I ain't speeding. I'm spitting facts.
The facts is Texas Southern and Morgan State combined together only got one win on the season. I don't know what to tell you. And them the two teams you fell in love with.
And the crazy thing is they play better. Even with the one win, Morgan State's one win.
We said that last week.
Beats all your wins, okay? All your wins for Southern, Morgan State smashed that. How they play Akron, smash. How they beat Richmond, smash. So what we talking about?
I'm saying
your schedule is as weak as anybody's.
It is, and what it is.
You couldn't even beat Alabama State. They can't even beat a D2 team.
It is what it is. It's still one win. Hell, we only got one more than them.
Just saying. I don't think you should be doing too much talking.
You're trying to justify losing.
I don't think you should be doing too much.
Are you justifying losing?
Morgan State's schedule is 10 times harder than your schedule.
You can tell me all day it's hard.
So they're not equal. They're not equal. If you have Morgan State schedule, are you winless?
I don't know. Give us their schedule.
Schedule it.
I'm not the AD here. Hey, right now, talk to the AD.
I'm just saying. Roman Banks, if you still got a job next year, how about you schedule some FCS opponents outside of the SWAC? You can't even beat McNeese. Alcorn beating McNeese. You can't even beat McNeese.
All I know is one win combined for two teams.
I'm just saying. No. We got two. Texas Southern just beat Lincoln, California.
Oh, excuse me. 2 wins. All right. It took 2 teams.
I'm just saying. That's like you playing Arkansas Pine Bluff, kind of one and the same.
Lincoln, California.
I'm just saying, one and the same. One and the same.
You can't do that, Doc. Boy, I tell you, boy, you're a boy. Listen, come on, let's roll with it.
All right, I'm just saying. Just got to call it what it is.
I know you want to make yourself seem good. Come
on.
I'm
just saying. If Andrew was there, I'll be all Texas Southern all day, dripped up, draped out. You don't know what I'm talking about. But he gone. He not there. So,
that ship has sailed.
Yeah, so has my ship. my ship has left port too. When his ship sailed, my boat was right behind him.
PSA to any team out there in Black College, if Scotty picked you in the preseason to be his team, you might as well throw your hands up and say, "Oh shit."
That's not true. Because listen, I have made my pledge of allegiance very clear. It has always been to Andrew. It has always been to Andrew. People do it all the time. People like LeBron and don't like the Lakers. People like KD and all the multiple teams he jumps back and forth to. You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking? It's no different in college.
You know what we talking about?
Like college football is no different.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no different. If Devontae Kincaid would have left Grambling and gone to another school, a lot of Grambling fans probably would have went with it too.
Move the goalposts.
I'm just saying.
Keep moving the goalposts. You're doing a great job, Eddie.
Listen. It's not too many players in Black college football that are how would you say, like, kind of star status ish, and Andrew's a star regardless.
You know what you should do for a living? You know, when the big teams and they win them games and everybody storm the field and somebody got to let that goalpost down before they jump on it and set up. That should be your job as a living. When they get ready to rush the field, you let the goalpost down. Just say, y'all ain't going to tear my shit up today. That's your job, movie.
I'm just saying. That's fair. I just think that's fair. I don't think it's fair that people can pick players and I can't pick players in college football.
You picked the whole team.
I picked Andrew.
I didn't hear you say Andrew Body.
Was he not on Texas Southern? I'm rocking with Andrew. I said, if you want to go back, I said, I'm rocking with Andrew everything. So it's Texas Southern all the way. That's a quoted. What's they doing in quotations? I said, I'm rocking with Andrew and everything he do. So Texas Southern all the way.
Even with Andrew Body, they lost to PV.
Okay, and I still would have been on the Texas Southern bandwagon if it's 100% Andrew Body. He was like 50%.
I got you.
A 50% Andrew threw for 300 yards and 3 tubs. I'm just saying.
In the L.
I'm just saying.
You saying what I'm saying? They lost.
I'm just saying. I'll make sure if he goes in the portal that he don't go to Southern. How about that?
How you gonna make sure that you the agent now? You the behind the.
Let me blow myself up.
Yeah, blow yourself up.
I will listen. I will go down. I will do my darndest to make sure. How about that? How about them apples? Okay. So we keep talking. Service is over.
Man, I'm okay whether he come to Southern or not. It don't make me no difference.
Table.
All right.
And I just told Mama Body, I said, hey, if Andrew go in the portal, you know what I'm saying? He should definitely make a visit to Southern. I said that. I said to the big boys, Southern, Fam, NCAT. I told her that. She in the chat. She'll tell you straight up.
She know that too.
Mama Body, we canceling on that Southern trip. We good on that. We good on that. We good on that, Mama Body. We good on that one. We good on that. We no. Ain't no Baton Rouge trip.
Hey, I still love him. It don't matter. Hey,
ain't no love. Ain't no love.
Oh, ain't no love.
Ain't love. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Boy, I didn't know you was the spokesman of the family.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Dog. Thought you had one.
What's going on to the bodies, man? Them some good people though, man. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like they not, man. Them some real good people for real. Yeah. That's like family.
We all personally guarantee writing checks. Writing checks.
Y'all the ones saying all that. I ain't said nothing about Andrew Body coming to Southern.
I just made sure he wouldn't. All right, let's get into it. Hot topics, right? Hashtag white privilege at its best. Now, I could take this a few different ways, but I didn't want to make it a Dion question. What I wanted to say more or less is like, if a black head coach would have done this foolishness on live television, what would you think the results or the backlash would be? So here we go. If you haven't seen it.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12-minute formation. That's 5 plays.
So as you can see here, Trent Dilfer is just going smooth smack ham off on his assistant coach. I don't know. Like when I first initially saw it, I was just like, there's no way a black coach would have not been on the first thing on Monday apologizing for his actions. Now I haven't heard anything about Trent Dilfer apologizing. Haven't heard anything about it, but I'll tell you straight up, there's no way a black head coach gets away with that. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Your opinions, P?
I mean, shit, he making sure his coach is on point. You see, they had too many men on the field, and that's something that your coaches got to be prepared for. I'm the head coach. If you're a position coach or you the coordinator, you got to be on that. I know he went a little berserk, but he feel like they still got a chance to be in the game with it being 28-20 in the fourth quarter. You know, that's an unnecessary type of penalty. And you got to set a standard. You got to let people know this is unacceptable when the game is on the line and there's opportunities for us to get back in. I don't know what this would have turned out if this was a black coach. You know, I don't know if it would have been the topic for everyone to see if a black coach would have done this. I mean, but to me, it looked like he getting everybody in line. Hell, I mean, get with it or get lost. Get fired at the end of the year if you don't think what he's saying is meaning to help get the program in a better direction. That's just me personally, because I'm not sure what he's saying right now. But to me, it looked like what he's saying, we need to get our shit together because there was no reason for that flag on that play.
I think there's always a way to do something. I won't say, listen, I've been on a lot of sides of ass chewings as a player. Haven't really seen him on the side as a coach because I haven't coached football. I've coached basketball. To me, I just think there's a way to do things. It's always a way to do things, and you can always get your point across. But to me, that is, it's like borderline showing that person up, like showing like it just to me doesn't look right. And I'll say this, and let's keep it a buck. And everybody knows I'm very critical. I don't care what nobody says. If Deion Sanders had done this on the sideline at any point in time, he would get crucified. Absolutely crucified. Now you're gonna have people that are Deion fans who just say, "Hey, that's coaching," right? But you're gonna have a majority of white media that's going to say that is inappropriate for a head coach. You can't because you cannot tell me that wouldn't be the first thing on Undisputed, ESPN First Take, any of those. Marcus Freeman, the boy from Notre Dame, if he did that at Notre Dame to a white assistant coach or to even into his own black assistant, like you can't tell me that this wouldn't have been on every news channel possible. I think this is white privilege at its finest. You can't. I just that's how I see it, because I haven't seen the backlash from Trenton Dilfer other than on Twitter.
I get it. It don't look good when you fussing out at your coaches live game on television, but at the same time look like he's letting his players know I'm holding my coaches just as accountable as I'm holding the players, and my coaches got to be on point. I'm over here having to do something else. Your job is simply make sure we got enough guys on the field and got the right amount of guys on the field. As long as he didn't put his hands on anybody, he wasn't just all in anybody's face, and then he walked off. But I think he had to set the tone to let everybody know this is unacceptable, because he did it in front of the team and on television. I mean, I ain't going to put too much into it to say white privilege. I just think you saw a coach heated in the moment, and it happens. I'm an official. I see it all the time, even on the high school level, of a coach blasting his assistants, whether it's on television or not. I mean, that's part of a game, especially when you're in a game. And I don't think he did anything that was just abusive in this situation. He was just yelling to let guys know to lock in. That's the same thing whether he was doing it to a player or he's doing it to his coaches. Long as he's not in their face harassing them and they having to pull him back off of him, then I think it was all good. He just had to set a tone to let them know, why is this happening? And I'm not going to equate that to white privilege, because it's not all over the media. I just think it was a heated moment and people paid attention.
Oh, that's fair. People say Nick Saban does this weekly, but that proves my that proves my point. It's no different than when Tom Brady yells at his team, it's fire, it's competitiveness, and Cam Newton does it or Odell Beckham does it, and it's a distraction, it's a problem, it's a cancer. It's all about how you want to manipulate the message. But you know what I'm saying? Like you guys are kind of making my point with saying like Nick Saban does it every week. That's not the point. The point is if a black head coach was in that position, a Marcus Freeman, a Loxley, the dude from Penn State, how would that have been looked at? And to me, how you're looking at it, to me, in my personal opinion, is how white media will look at it, is just like, oh, this is Trenton Dilfer not wanting to be losing, not wanting to do this. But I don't think a black head coach would give the same leeway to be this passionate on the sideline. That's all I'm saying.
It's football, baby. It comes with the game. I mean, what we raising, dogs or cats? That's all. It's football. Who has not been yelled at in football? Who has not gotten their ass chewed out in football? Probably 100 times worse than what's happening right there. And we've seen footage. I saw footage, a couple weeks ago, of a coach cussing and trying to fight a player in a room, the hotel room, or wherever they were at, because he was telling him he's not man enough and all of this other stuff, and you want to be hard, well, be hard with me. Now, that's overboard, because you in my face and you tested my manhood. I don't think he was testing anybody's manhood. He just letting them know, hey, we got to win this damn game, and this is not how you win with a penalty that's a stupid penalty. And for me, I mean, I can speculate and say all day, what would be the difference with a black coach? Would I want somebody yelling at me? No, but it happens in a competitive nature atmosphere like football. And anybody who's played the sport, you dealt with a coach chewing you out, and you've probably seen them chew out an assistant. It's just part of the game. Had he put his hands on anybody and they had to pull him away, then I say, you know what, Trent Dilfer went overboard. But he looked like he made his point clear. He looked like he stood firm on his point, and he walked the hell off. He didn't keep going. He didn't come back. He made his point clear and walked off. So I just think it is what it is.
That's a fair point. It said people legit called for E-Rob to be fired because he didn't give Dion a hug. Bottom line, white coaches get a pass that would have black coaches crucified.
That's because hands was he shoved and pushed away. Had he just not shook his hand and it rid of it verbal, but when you touch him, that's what caught everybody attention. To see him push Dion back is what caught the attention of everybody. It wasn't him if you would have saw him going off and snapping, because as much as he said in the post game, he said that Dion not swag. Okay, that's stuck. But what everybody just kept going back to the fact that how he pushed Dion. It was the physical, not necessarily the verbal. And I think right here, as long as coach didn't physically touch it, nobody had to pull him back. Once again, he walked off. He made his point clear. I get it. It is what it is.
All right, let's get into it. Lot of games to recap. All right, especially the.
You like that, don't you? It would have been even better with a W, but you like that, don't you?
All right, listen. Perry's up, man. Listen, I would have. Oh my gosh, the two games that pissed me off: Campbell and Alabama State. I picked Alabama State to win, so me going off on E-Rob really just set me off even more. And then Campbell giving the game away the way they did. I mean, I'm running away home free right now. If those two games just come through, your boy, what? I'm 8-2.
Hey, so if you was on Alabama State sideline, you wouldn't be tripping on E-Rob like Trent Dilfer was.
Nah, because it wasn't E-Rob's fault that Juwan Howell fumbled the ball.
Okay.
I mean, I can call the play if you fumble. What that got to do with me? Now everybody gonna blame me, right? I mean, you can blame E-Rob for the quarterback situation, but you can't blame E-Rob for Juwan Howell fumbling in the red zone on the goal. Come on, you can't. Yeah, that's crazy. But so let's get into it.
I'll take that lead I got, boy. Roll to the Celebration Bowl. I'm trying to get there.
Listen,
the playoffs, one of the two, it don't matter to me.
Let's just hit the reset button on this UAPB. No need to have no stats for that. That was just a straight slacking. Southern 27-0. Harold Blood throws for 8. Listen, very efficient game. Of course, one of those missed passes was a pick. 18-20. What that on the first drive? It was crazy. Like the first
play of the game.
First play, first drive. 18-20, 225, 2 tubs and an interception. Gary Qualls transfer from A&M, 15 carries, 102 touchdowns. Hey, Perry, you were at this game, not repping for Pine Bluff, but actually the opponent. How was the environment?
Sucked.
Wow.
Man, listen. I'm from Pine Bluff, went to Pine Bluff High, but I got to call it spade a spade. Listen, the tailgate was horrible. And this is a message to Pine Bluff fans. I know they haven't had much success recently. Well, not recently. It's been a while. But still, man, what I saw pulling into that stadium, in that parking lot, and the environment that I saw in terms of the lack of tailgate, the lack of energy. I even went on campus that Friday and walked around and talked to students like, man, there's a game tomorrow. Got to study, which I understand. I'm going home. I'm just not going to the game. And it was a million RVs out there. And shout out to my man, Greg Summers. He's the president of the Rolling Lions RV Club. He showed me hospitality. He was the only person that had some energy. He had music outside his RV. You know, he had it riding around on his cart. Shout out to Greg Summers. But I asked Greg, what the hell everybody else doing? Sleep in RV? Wasn't no grills going. Wasn't no music out. And I even stopped for a second. I looked around for about 15 minutes, and I told my boys, I said, let's look around. Nobody eating and nobody drinking. It don't even look like a damn good time around here. So for UAPB, and even within the game, the atmosphere, horrible. It was quiet. There was no energy. The fans wasn't enthused. They were just there. And the turnout was not good as well. But, you know, it is what it is. I think for me personally, UAPB got to do better. Shout out as well to the athletic director, Chris Robertson, my boy Cameo Stokes, all of them. They showed some great hospitality to me, but in terms of the fan base, they got to do better, because if this is something Alonzo Hampton is going to build, he's going to need the support. And guess what? There's nothing else to do in Pine Bluff on a Saturday. Nothing but the casino. You go to the casino, or you go to the game, or you sitting outside on the front porch hanging out. I wasn't feeling it. And although Southern won the game 27-0, this was probably one of the ugliest blowout wins I've seen. It wasn't pretty by far. I mean, you look at the game, Southern, I go through the stats. Southern 3 of 9 on third downs, UAPB 7 of 18. Southern 488 total yards in this game, but finally we saw the run game open up. Finally, somebody rushed for 100 yards this season for Southern. It was Garrett Quarles. I thought perhaps Kendrick Grimes or maybe a Kobe Dillon. Kobe Dillon, last time he played UAPB, broke a SWAC single game rushing record for almost 300 yards in this game. But instead, it was Garrett Quarles able to get 102 yards in the touchdowns, 258 yards in the air for Southern, 230 on the ground, 2 interceptions, 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. But for UAPB, they were 7 of 18, 221 total yards, 105 in the air, 116 on the ground. They had 4 turnovers, which really killed them in this game. And they were all terrible fumbles in this game, 3 fumbles and an interception. And shout out to Harold Blood for having a very efficient day, 18 of 20 for 225, 2 touchdowns. Without that interception on the first play of the game, I really kind of give him a flawless game. And so shout out to him. We're watching him grow up. He grew up in this game, although it's the opponent. But then what you saw was Southern's defense, the number 1 defense in the conference, came to play and put a goose egg on UAPB. And it feel good not to have a goose egg at Southern, right? Feel good to see us finally hold somebody scoreless. I thought Jalen Macon would have did a little bit better job, but
got a number 1 defense in the SWAC?
Huh?
Got a number 1 defense in the SWAC?
Southern has number 1 defense in the SWAC. You don't be paying attention when I'm talking. I said that last week, but they came to play, and this is the results.
I played Alabama State. I played Jackson. How many points Jackson score?
27.
Y'all played UAPB 0
and Alabama A&M.
How many points they score?
10.
So how many Alabama State scored? 14,
27, 10,
0. And FAMU scored 10, 10, 10, 10. I think nobody's gone over 10. I'm not.
And I told you each week.
I'm just not understanding.
Each week, Southern's offense has put up a little bit more points on the board each week. So we got 27 this week. Every week it seems like it's going up. So I'll take that.
Oh, I'm.
What you have an issue with?
I just don't understand how the SWAC does math. But I guess however.
I didn't make it up.
I'm just the USEF game, South Florida. Oh, because they schedule people. I keep forgetting that y'all don't be really scheduling nobody, so it don't really. I get it.
Yep.
Okay.
Glad you got it.
Okay. I be forgetting y'all don't schedule games. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Listen, I don't know who is the announcer for the game in the broadcast. He sucks. Both of them suck. It was the driest broadcast in America. So how you felt watching the game and the energy, like walking around, that's all the energy that was given on the. They was like, oh,
I think those two, there's LaRon Marbley and Carlos James were the 2 on the call.
Need to be fired. Now, if they don't got nobody else to replace them, then hey, that's just what it is. But that is not worth $9.95. It ain't worth it. I paid for it. It ain't worth it. Okay, so they trash. They absolutely trash. So they need to figure out what to do. Get some new kids in there, or just listen. I'd rather just watch the game with no sound.
Was it that bad?
Man, it was Perry, bro. No lie, bro. It was horrible. It was horrible. Like they was like the thing I like but don't like about Jackson is Rob J gives it energy, but it's a lot of Jacksonism. It's a lot of Homerism in the broadcast. You're like, man, y'all are just too much homers. But it's still fun. It's entertaining. Rob J telling jokes, the other guys telling jokes. Hey, you remember that time at Jackson? Oh, yeah, in 1985 when such and such came up here. It's a lot of Homerism. So it's like, it's annoying, but it's cool, right? UAPB, them Bama's just dry. They ain't no jokes.
Give me an example of the commentary. Give me one.
He was like, looking like, I think it's number 4. No, what jersey number you have? Oh, I think none of these numbers are right. They're not right. That's how they was talking, bro. I'm like, dead That's how they're talking. None of these numbers are right. I don't know what I mean. I need Mr. Magoo glasses just to see these numbers on the page. I don't like that's legit how they were talking.
Well,
You know
it
what I'm
was
saying?
just as dry out there in the stadium, bro. Listen, I told the band director, hey, if y'all don't ever want to come back to Pine Bluff, I'm okay with that. I know I put in a lot of work to come. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. So I didn't like nothing that I saw. We were pulling up at about, I got to the stadium about 11:30, 12, rode around on the cart. At 12:31, mind you, the game starts at 4. I was just now seeing people pulling grills off the truck and setting up tents. I'm like, it's 12:30. I should be trying to sober up on the back end of this last plate before I get ready to go into the game because we've been out here since 7, 8 o'clock this morning getting
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock, you just getting the grill off the truck? No, that ain't cutting it. That ain't cutting it.
This ain't for me.
That ain't for me. That ain't for me.
That ain't black college football right there. That
ain't a swag. And listen, it's like UAPB in the swag, but they not swag.
Yeah.
It's just they don't give you that swag game day environment. You've been to Alcorn, right?
Oh yeah. Listen, you got to be there so early. Them Bama's cooking breakfast, boy. That thing was. I love it. Listen.
On the hibachi thing over there, going crazy with eggs and bacon.
Shout out to Mr. Nash. Shout out to the A-team, man. They be doing it up, bro. They be doing it. Listen, I was sitting that mile line for that breakfast. That breakfast is so damn good in the morning, bro. I swear to God, it was so good. Man, I was like, but people be there super, super early. I love it. All right, let's go to the Alabama State Alcorn game. Listen, this is not your normal Alcorn anymore. This ain't the ground and pound, run for 150, 200 yards, have a quarterback throw for 125, 150. Listen, I don't know what or who has gotten to Alcorn, but these Bama's are throwing it around the yard. Aaron Allen, 32 of 46, 370, 2 tubs and an NIT. Alabama State quarterbacks were just absolutely not nothing. So rushing total for the game was 250 with a blending of backs that they used. Man, listen, this game was super exciting. Alcorn does a late drive from the 5-yard line, goes 95 yards to tie the game up. Then they come back in overtime. How did this game end?
It ended in overtime.
It ended in overtime with a field goal. So, man, great game. Absolutely great game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Alcorn this game 4-13 on third down, 428 total yards from Alcorn, 370 in the air, and they still having trouble running the ball, 58 yards on the ground. They had an interception in this game, but on the other side for Bama State, 6 of 15 on third down, 353 total yards, and guess what? It wasn't in the air. Only 96 yards in the air, 257 on the ground, 3 fumbles from Alabama State in this ball game. Aaron Allen, of course, like you just said, had a monster day, 370 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. He seems to have pulled away from the other guy. Was it Tyler Macon from Missouri?
Yeah. All the people that kept saying Big Macon, Big Mako, Big Draco, all that type of stuff. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
And Montario Hunt, 6 receptions, 109 yards, and a touchdown in this ball game. Who was not a factor? That was really a tragedy for Alabama State, and what makes me feel he definitely won't be there next year, Keyshawn Johnson. He was not a factor. I saw he had 2 carries in this game. They was trying to do whatever they could with him, but he was just simply not a factor. They don't have a quarterback to really help him out. I mean, they were able to put 257 on the ground. Just imagine if they was able to muster up the passing game to be able to be balanced with that stable of running that they was able to do, but it was lackluster, and they ended up on the bad end of this, 23-20.
I'm gonna say this, right? Because I know some Alcornites are in here. First of all, I went to your homecoming last year. If you remember, Andrew was playing. He beat y'all at homecoming. So I've been to homecoming. It wasn't all that crazy. I just want to be very clear about that. Maybe the PV might be a little bit better, but I know they ain't bringing no fans because they only got 12 of them. So I don't know how many of them coming. But anyway, so I want to be very clear. I wasn't an Aaron Allen fan. But the reason I wasn't an Aaron Allen fan is because you were trying to make him into something he was not. You were trying to use him like Felix with the RPOs and all the running, and that's not his game. If you watched it, when I saw him up close and personal at Texas Southern, he was just dotting them up. whole shot, deep ball, whatever. He was just dotting them up. So I'm glad that they're playing towards Aaron Allen's strength of just straight drop back, none of that extra stuff, and just reading the field and letting it go. And listen, Montario Hunt is picking up where he left off against Jackson in the Soul Bowl, where he was killing Travis Hunter, and that boy couldn't do nothing with him. So shout out to Montario Hunt.
Shout out to Fred McNair.
Oh, they played Grambling in the Alcorn. Listen, Grambling don't really be traveling like that either, unless it's like a classic. So, but we'll see.
They'll show up over there to Alcorn. If they go to one, they'll show up to Alcorn.
Yeah, because that homecoming with Texas Southern last year, that wasn't it. It was a lot of people in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? But listen, if you've never been to Alcorn, don't try to use your phone. You just a goner. Right? You're just a goner. All right, Campbell versus NCCU, man. This is an instant classic. Absolutely instant classic. Davius Richards goes stupid. 21-34, 174 on the ground. In the air with a touchdown. 21 carries, 86 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. Hodge Williams goes for 20-26, 302, 5 touchdowns in the INT. Listen, no defense was really played in this game. But at the end of the day, offense prevailed. Davius Richards, being the man-child that he is, absolutely took over the game and did his thing. What you got, P?
I got to correct you. That 174 is wrong. He passed for 265 in this ball game.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I was trying, man. I was trying to go out.
21 of 34 for 265, 1 touchdown, 21 carries, 86 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. A hell of a day to account for 5 touchdowns and what he was able to do with his legs. You talked about Hodge, Malik Williams, 20 of 26, 302 yards. He threw for 5 touchdowns and an interception. This was just a hell of a game when you look at quarterbacks going back and forth. And then they also had a guy for Campbell, Jalen Kelsey, 7 receptions, 172 yards, and 2 touchdowns. In this ball game, North Carolina Central, 8 of 17 on 3rd downs. They were 4 of 4 on 4th downs. A good day going forward and taking a chance when you talk about gambling for it. 497 total yards, 265 in the air, 182 on the ground. No turnovers for NCCU in this ball game. And for Campbell, 5 of 8 on 3rd downs, 410 total yards, 302 in the air, 108 on the ground. 1 interceptions. Like you said, this was a hell of a game. And I just felt like this was the get back for the Eagles in this game compared to last year, because it didn't seem like they showed up, or maybe they underestimated Campbell. But this was the game I was expecting last year. And this is the game that we got this year, where it turned out to be an instant classic. You circle this one and go back and remember this, because you talk about offensive production. Both teams almost knocking on the 50 door, the 50 piece. This was a hell of a game and a hell of a win for the Eagles to get a win over Campbell out of the CAA.
No, it was huge. And listen, it looked like it was about to be a repeat. I'm not gonna lie. Halftime, 35-14. I tweeted out. She Loves Crazy tweeted out. Everybody was tweeting out of what it looked like. And got to give kudos to Josh. He just said, keep watching. That's all he said. Josh said, keep watching. And lo and behold, behold, they come out with the victory. And I was stunned. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, if one thing you can say about NCCU is that defense is not it. I'm not even gonna hold you. There's no if and buts about it. If there's one thing about this team that you can clearly see is defensively, they do not have it. But if it's a shootout, they got a guy back there that can get it done, and they got a running back, Mookie Collier. Man, that boy is a problem. So, great win by NCCU, man. Great resilient win for a championship ball club to come in and get that huge W and get that monkey off their back from losing to them really bad last year. So, and gotta give a shout out to Coach Trey Oliver to keep his team in the pocket, focused on the mission at hand, and being as resilient as they were throughout the whole game, man. Huge win. But next up, the dark horse. I said, behold of the score. NCAT 28, Norfolk 26, Kenji Christian, 15 carries, 154 yards, 2 tubs. Kevin White, freshman, quarterback, 11 carries, 115 on the ground, 2 tubs. And once again, Otto Coons, 15 of 30, 165 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had some rushing yards as well. NCAT pulls out a tight one against Norfolk. What you got, P?
Tough. To get you right again. Kenji Christian had 15 carries for 118 rushing yards.
That's not what ESPN said. No, I took that one straight off ESPN.
I think it was 118 for him, and for Kevin White, it was 115 for him. Both combining for 2 touchdowns apiece, 4 touchdowns total. You look at NCAT in this ball game, 2 of 9 on third down, 373 total yards, only 98 yards passing. They still struggling passing, but it was the run game that opened up 275. They had 2 turnovers in this ball game, a fumble and an interception. And for Norfolk, 6 of 17 on third down, 395 total offense, 165 in the air, 230 on the ground. They had a fumble. It seemed like it went North Carolina A&T's way. They got the victory, 2 points. This was another one of those classics. You know, this was a big game when you look at these programs, former MEAC opponents of each other. North Carolina A&T took their band up there. They created an even more atmosphere, bigger atmosphere. But this was just a hell of a game, and A&T got it done over Norfolk State by 2.
Man, it was a tough pullout. No homo. It was NCAT had the ball late, driving. If I'm not mistaken, I think NCAT got an interception close in, like ending of the fourth, like close to the end of the fourth quarter. They're driving back down to seal the game. It's 3rd and 6, and they do an off tackle, man. And Kenji Christian in his one-on-one with the linebacker, Kenji Christian just straight stiff arms him, pretty much ends the game. Listen, it was a tough game. And if you watch the game, first of all, the production of this game was A1. I mean, crystal clear. I don't know whose camera they were using, but it was absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best ESPN Plus games I've seen and watched on ESPN Plus. It was a great production of a game, but man, that Kevin White kid, he different. He different. And this is my problem with NCAT. Okay, let me say this. What I love about Dawson Odoms is this. He's not ashamed of what he is, right? They're a run first team. His mantra is run first. It doesn't matter how it looks to him. It doesn't matter how it looks. If it's a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, it's a loss. I think NCAT's that type of team. They want to portray something when the personnel tells you everything in it that is not that. You want to be this spread type team or this throw it around the yard type team, but you're pretty much a triple option. You're a bona fide triple option. You're a bona fide I formation. You're a bona fide run first team, and I think they need to embrace that and keep it moving. And maybe you'll see more victories like this, but I don't know. I can't. Don't know.
Norfolk in those 4 quarters to Virginia State and to NCAT could be totally different for them right now. But unfortunately, you remember I told you talking to Dawson Odoms, having to play those 4 complete quarters.
Yeah, finish.
And it's costing them. It cost them against Virginia State, and it cost them against NCAT. And that's what he preached to me. He said, I got a young team. I'm just trying to get these guys to grow up to understand how to close out games. I think this right here is an example of them not being able to close out a game, but seeing them compete. This was a winnable game. It should have been won for Norfolk, but they let one slip away. 2-point loss to NCAT. NCAT was this their first win on the season, I believe.
It was. They were winless. They were definitely winless, and that's why I thought Norfolk was just going to come in and handle business, but definitely not. FAMU versus Valley. Jeremy Musa. Listen, this game was so ugly. Jesus Christ, it was ugly. Jeremy Musa, 13-26, 156 yards, touchdown, and an interception, and then a tweet by his coach pretty much telling all the FAMU faithful that he's riding with his guy. Valley, 10 points. Jamari Jones, 7-17, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. What you got, P?
The Rattlers struck again on the road at Itabena. Wasn't much to this. I just, I was keeping up with it. I saw a lot of people saying, FAMU was slow to seem like to get themselves going in this game. And I just think, once again, that's the power of what Itabena, Mississippi is. It's just, there's no energy. The same way like at Pine Bluff, you got to kind of create your energy as a team, because probably you're not going to have any fans there. You're not going to have a band there to back you. So you got to create your own energy in Itabena. It is shown in the past. It is just simply a tough place. But FAMU seem to have found that energy and was able to pull away in the second half and get some points on the board and ultimately get the victory. But this was just FAMU doing what FAMU do, and that's winning games. And if they finesse it, they finesse it. But they find ways to get dubs, and that's what they did.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jeremy Musa looked bad. I mean, to me in this game, and I got a couple calls from FAMUans during the State Fair Classic. I had a guy called in and said he just would really hope that and Valley only had 7 points. Okay, I gave him an extra 3, but he was really wishing that FAMU would establish the run. You know what I'm saying, and not put it on Musa every single time, because clearly it doesn't go well for them when it's a Musa situation. You know what I'm saying? So
wasn't much to this. They got the dub. You pretty much expected them to do it. You know, Valley, it was just a slow start, but FAMU pulled away. Simple as that.
Yeah. No, and not from what I listen from the UAB game, and I know you've watched every game. I'm just talking about the stuff that I've seen. Right? Is that it's not a true 2x2 spread. It's the fact of the matter is that instead of you guys just committing to being a option team or a straight, it's like you still make it look like you're doing something different. You're not. Okay, you just need to figure out how you can run the ball more effectively. So it just is what it is. And yelling Morgan, that was just an ass whooping. That no need to go there. All right, Tuskegee 3, A&M 53. Listen, I'm gonna say this for all the A&M people that reached out to me talking about something. Oh, Quincy, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because it just a few weeks ago, this Bama right here. Just a few weeks ago, this Bama talking about some. Oh, Scotty, I think Xavier Langford's better for the offense. I really feel that. And I said, bro, I told him straight up, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, because if I run an offense catered to a certain player, it's going to look better. Because why? I'm catering it to him. I kept telling people, why are you having Quincy Casey run speed option? That doesn't make any sense. He's a thrower. He's not a speed option type of guy. So once again, Quincy Casey goes for 17 to 27, 296 and 4 tubs. Keenan Hambrick, wide receiver, goes for 5 receptions, 147 yards and 2 tubs. Tuskegee scores 3 points. Corey Petty goes for 5 receptions, 91 yards. Very ugly game for Tuskegee. Listen, Tuskegee defensively has been a problem all year. They've been ran on. They've been thrown on. It doesn't matter, okay? So defense-wise, I wasn't expecting much, but offensively, without Antonio Meeks, I thought it was going to be hard for them to score, and it ended up being like that. What you got?
You know, I was looking at Tuskegee coming into this game 4-0 last week, but you remember what I said. I looked back at their opponents, who they had played leading up into this game, and for me, the schedule did not show that they were prepared in terms of the strength of schedule and opponents. I went with A&M in this game, but I thought this was going to probably be a lot closer than the 58-3 whooping. But A&M is shown against teams like Tuskegee and Lane, they don't stand a chance against them.
Yeah, I mean, that it just is what it is. I would have loved to see what Antonio Meeks would have done done against Alabama A&M. I think the kid's special, definitely D1 talent. But listen, I'm gonna say this: Quincy Casey was in a lose-lose situation. You do this against a Division II, you're supposed to do it. He loses this game, you're not supposed to win. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to lose. So to big up 296 and 4 tubs, that's what you're supposed to do. I know it's hard because you see teams like Alabama State lose to teams like Miles. You see teams like Southern that can barely score points and it's supposed to be offensive juggernauts, right? So it's just like, oh, man, what is this supposed to? This is what it's supposed to look like when you go against inferior talent. It's just what it is. So he did what he was supposed to do.
And shout out to Alabama A&M fans. I know it was homecoming. I saw drone footage. I saw pictures, man. It looked like a good time.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know.
They broke a record. They set their new home attendance with that. So, yeah.
Let's see if they can keep that going. If the next game, no. You did that with your whole body.
Oh, no. Yeah, listen, that
he said no.
It's about to go back to being 75 people in the stands right next week. Next week is about to go back to being 75 people in the stands. And Mobile, they came out in Mobile last time. I ain't gonna lie to you. They came out in Mobile last time. But yeah, I think they broke all type of records. They set a home attendance record. They set a donation record for A&M. So shout out, man. Listen, shout out to the AD. Dr. Paul Bryant doing this thing, scheduling the right opponent for homecoming to really bring in that atmosphere, like you've talked about when it comes to black college football, because it matters, right? They haven't played this game in a long time. I remember when the game first got announced on Twitter, it went dumb. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to Tuskegee, because I've been told Tuskegee travels really well. They're usually one of a lot of SWAC teams' biggest games. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta get credit where credit is due for that one.
Yeah, it looked good from what I saw.
Oh man, it looked crazy. Now I don't know if anybody was sharing no food out there, because
you know, I've been refraining from going where I've been in the past with talking about them. I know they reached out and was like, "Hey, Scotty, you know, don't have them talk about." So it looked like they had a good time. I'll leave them at that.
Okay.
It probably was real bougie around there.
Hey, chip, crackers and cheese for everybody. Crackers. Cheddar Wizard. Anyway, Hampton 31, Richmond 14. Now listen, Richards just become a CAA beatdown for teams. That's what they do. Elijah Burris, 16 carries, 15 yards and a touchdown. Christopher Zealous, 24-34, 256, one tub in an NIT. I believe he also ran 400, if I'm not mistaken, or 86 yards, something like that. What you got, P?
Yeah, Christopher Zealous, 24-34, 256, a touchdown and an interception. Also 14 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Elijah Burris, 16 carries, 115 yards. On the other side, Camden Coleman for Richmond, 24-34, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Hampton stepped up big in this ball game. They were 5 of 13 on third down, 497 total yards in this game, 256 in the air, 241 on the ground. You can't ask for a better balance. That is beautiful when you talk about a balanced offense. That's what you want out of your offense. 1 turnover in this ball game by way of interception. You know what Richmond did on third downs in this ball game? 1 of 11 on third downs in this ball game. Third down.
Ain't gonna get it.
Not gonna get it. 260 total yards, 230 in the air. Hampton held them to only 30 rushing yards in this ball game, and they had 2 interceptions, 2 turnovers for Richmond in this ball game. Great win for Hampton. Hampton got over that hump, and I like this victory for them against Richmond. Richmond does not seem to be the team that we kind of was putting, I don't say put on the pedestal, but we were giving them respect when we first started to see them on the MEAC radar taking on teams. When right now, I can't put much respect on the Richmond Spiders because of a win like this. But Christopher Zealous, I'm going to tell you, it's not pretty all the time, but he's starting to turn into one of my, if not my favorite player in HBCU football.
Oh, he's excited.
I love what he can do as a dual threat quarterback, and I'm starting to say his name more and more each week. Christopher Zealous right now is my favorite. I will say this. He's my favorite football player in black college football as a true dual threat quarterback over at him.
Listen, you can say, listen, it's that guy, Elijah Burris. The picture you see on the side, that is Elijah. Listen, Elijah Burris, because I know quarterbacks touch the ball all the time. Quarterbacks are Elijah Burris is just lightning in a bottle. And Dave might disagree with me, but I do think he's a resurgence of Tariq Cohen. Just a little bit, right? Listen. I'm not putting him on like Tariq Cohen, but I do think he is if Tariq Cohen had a second cousin, you know what I'm saying? Like if he had like a stepbrother, I'll put Elijah Burris as the stepbrother of Tariq Cohen.
That's tough.
He's that explosive. He's really that explosive. I mean, the kid is special. If you get him out in space, if he has any bit of room or light, he could take it to the house. And I think this is a huge pickup for Hampton. He was a former UNC commit, you know what I'm saying, North Chapel commit, and he came back. I mean, and he went to Hampton. So I love the pickup. And listen, I told Dave at the beginning of the season that Hampton was going to have a better record than North Carolina A&T. Dave, I told you that. I said it. I watched film on Hampton, and I said, listen, Hampton is not as bad as people think he is. Hampton is not as bad as people think they are, and they are proving me right. And I said they will have a better record in the CAA, and they're first in the CAA. So, you know, just want to
talked about it at the beginning of the season when we went through the Hampton schedule of last year. This team was on the verge. I mean, they were borderline in games right there. Just couldn't get over the hump. But now with the surges of Christopher Zealous and you talking about Elijah Burris, you got to respect them cats, man, especially you talking about the run game, because Burris can get you, then Zealous can catch out, then Zealous can get you with his arm. They are a tough out, man. And Listen, I'm telling you, Christopher Zealous right now. I know there's plenty of guys to go around to like, but I like Christopher Zealous. If I had a number one in terms of a favorite player, I like dual threat quarterbacks. Anybody that know me know I love a quarterback that can do it with his arm as well as with his legs. And Christopher Zealous right now is giving me everything I'm asking for with a quarterback being able to do that.
Absolutely. And I mean, come on, man. Like, you lost to your rivals. You had some opportunities to get some wins, Dave, and y'all ain't pulling it out, my boy. Now UAB, y'all was supposed to lose that game, but I'm just saying, you making some excuses for me. All right, let's get to the game of the week recap. And if anybody didn't know who I was going for, I said what? I thought you knew we talking about. Woo, boy, this one was sweet. Out of all the losses I took, and I took some. Oh, I took some. But this one, dag nabbit, it was a good one. Oh man, how sweet. As the good book said, taste and see that the Lord is good. I said,
where's your drum break right there? You're supposed to hit the drum.
Hold on.
Yeah, keep it going.
They said what would be last shall be first.
Uh-huh. Well, bring it on.
Yeah, they said Hugh couldn't do it, but I said you didn't know.
Uh-huh. Say that.
I said when I got there, I said them 12 PV fans, they're gonna be sad.
Yes. Hey.
When you're looking high, you're sitting high and looking low.
Woo, he on fire.
You don't see when God elevates. Oh.
You're killing it today, Pastor. You're killing it, Pastor.
But before I let it go, I just want to let them know: is there a Miles Crawley in the house? Boy, they ain't got no Miles Crawley out here. Woo!
Hold on, we gonna pass that collection plate through the chat right now. Y'all can send in your donations.
Thank you.
Pass that collection plate for that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I needed that one. Oh Lord, I needed that one. Shout out to you, KJ. Shout out to you, KJ Black. Needed that one.
You want me to dive into this?
Oh, yeah. Take your time.
Take
all
my
the stats.
time.
All the stats.
I'll give you the stats. Prairie View in this ball game, 3 of 11 on third down, 0 of 3 on fourth down, 350 total yards, 224 in the air, 126 on the ground. They had an interception in this ball game, but on the other side, the Grambling State Tigers, the number one offense in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and they showed it once again in this game, 7 of 18 on third down, 3 of 3 on fourth down, which was crucial in this ball game. 449 total yards, 241 in the air, 208 on the ground. Once again, Grambling is starting to find that running game to help balance out the passing game, and 0 turnovers. That's once again, this team has done a phenomenal job of not turning the ball over, and especially with the ball being in Miles Crawley's hand. That's one thing I really have to say where I'm impressed with Grambling right now. The fact that they do not turn the ball over, right? Miles Crawley in this ball game, 26 of 41, 241 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and then running back by committee is the two-headed monster. And Floyd Chalk, 16 carries, 86 yards, a touchdown. And Chance Williams, I went back and looked at his film against LSU. Man, he had a field day against him. And in this ball game, 16 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown. For Prairie View, Trayvon Conley, 11 of 22, 224 in the air with an interception. Didn't throw a touchdown in this ball game. And Spiller, for them, Trayvon Spiller, 4 receptions, 109 yards. Receiving. I mean, you saw the offensive power of what Grambling is able to do, and you're going to have to keep up with them. I know we question Grambling's defense, but you're starting to find that balance at running the ball and helping to throw the ball. And so you throw in those 2 running backs, Chalk and Williams, along with the efficient day that Miles Crawley is having and not turning the ball over, Grambling's going to be a tough out. And I thought Prairie View was probably going to be able to get this done on the road, but State Fair Classic, 50,000 plus people in attendance. This looked like this was one, and Grambling much long overdue to get over that Prairie View hump. as Prairie View seemed to have their number for some years now. So shout out to Grambling. Hugh Jackson got a Gatorade bath after the game. How about that?
He needed it. He earned it. Listen, let me just say, I wrote an article, and everybody in Grambling killed me because I got rusted in Grambling. I didn't know.
You didn't
thought it was all the same. I guess. Okay, whatever. Anyway, but I learned. Okay, Grambling.
Hold on, what did you do?
I said down in Ruston, but it's actually in Yeah. Yeah.
I think what is it? Exit 81, I think.
Yeah, it's Grambling, Louisiana. Like, it's just its own entity.
Yeah, I've been there before. Yeah, you got to get that right. Ruston and Grambling, like right next to each other. It's a railroad track and a road that go through both of them, but it's Grambling, Louisiana. They want some respect on them.
Oh, yeah. So, but I wrote an article about them, and I called them the Avengers. And the reason I call them the Avengers is because of how many different ways they can attack you, right? You have Miles Crawley as Captain America. You have Lamborghini and Chalk. You have Lyndon Rash. You have Jalen. You have Antonio Jones. You have Javon Hargrove. You have Waters. You have Nashawn Dixon. You have all these guys that can attack you in so different ways. Like, literally, Miles Crawley has a plethora of weapons, and you just say, who's going to be that guy today? That's the beauty of this team. I don't need one person to be a superstar. We're so talented that Chalk could give me 60 yards today and give me 100 yards tomorrow. Antonio Jones can give me 100 yards today and then give me 30 yards tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. They just have a plethora of weapons, and man, it's tough, man. And I told people, if you're looking, if Grambling had a Madden rating for offense, it'll be 95.
And it's up there. And for all the Grambling fans, if they in here, hit that exit 81 in the chat. Fill it up. Let's see where Grambling at with that exit 81. Put it in the chat if y'all here. I want to see where Grambling at with that exit 81 because they believe in that one exit.
Yeah.
They believe in it.
Well, listen, and that thing will be jam packed all the way back to the back if you late.
Where you at, exit 81? Where you at?
I got a few of them. They said they got a few up in here.
Where exit 81 at? Come on now. Let's see where them Tigers at.
Yeah, they said we up in here. They said we up in here.
Yo, that's what I like to see, man.
Yeah, come on now. Come on, exit 81. Exit 81.
Yo, exit 81, where you at?
Yeah, I got one time for the one time, GS. Let's get it one time. I love this chant. That junk is fire. I don't care. No, listen, that's the best. That's hands down the best chant in college football.
Are you welcomed up there at exit 81?
You know what? Let me just say this.
He had to get himself proper.
Yeah, let me say this, okay? Travion Scott is not a fan of me, and I've been told I'm possibly bland. I'm possibly. He can't really.
Jackson on here though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with Hugh. You know, me and Hugh, we cool. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Travion, he weird. You know,
he ain't feeling you.
Nah, because he need to be fired. He sucked. But you know, that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there. But you know, it is what it is. But if I roll with the right person, I got some Grambling connects. I can walk in Grambling. I ain't tripping off no Travion Scott. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he can't stop me walking into a public institution. What you gonna do? You gonna hey, this guy, come on, stop it. Anyway, but you know,
I just want to know where you welcome. I ain't know.
You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm good with it.
PVA and Grambling, two schools that you should not be on their campus. You should never go to a State Fair Classic ever in life.
Oh, they definitely can't stop me from up in there. I mean, Dallas ain't even none of theirs. Dallas my stomping grounds. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You ain't tripping off that. Listen, we got the Oomph Awards. All right, oomph. Like you got that boy got oomph. That boy got oomph.
Is that what that is?
Oomph. Yeah. Oomph.
Okay.
Oomph. I was like, oomph.
I thought that was 0 miles per hour. I thought that's what it was, man. What the hell is this? I don't know what this is. I thought this was the going nowhere fast award. 0.
It's oomph. I gotta change the font.
Yeah. Get that O. That's a
Yeah, I gotta change the font. I went.
Yeah.
This is like Jersey font. You know what I'm saying? It's that college font. You know.
Yeah, you need to get that Times New Roman, man.
0 miles per hour.
I thought we was giving out awards to people that ain't been good because this is like we going nowhere fast.
Oh man, that was funny.
Okay, I'm glad that we clarified that. Thank you.
Oomph. Oomph awards. Okay, Jesus Christ, man. Oomph. You got oomph. All right, for the bronze medal of the Oomph Awards. My man P went with Harold Blood. I went with Quincy Casey. Bronze award of they're on the podium. Okay, they had a great week. You know what I'm saying? Harold Blood with his 18 to 20.
18 to 20, 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Finally saw him have a day that it didn't consist of turnovers, and it was a solid day. Besides that 1 interception on the first play of the game, you can't ask for better efficiency of 18 to 20. And so he gets the bronze medal. He's knocking on the door saying, hey, I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and Mama Body, she gets what I'm saying. Them college block letters, they mess you up. And then my boy Quincy Casey, you already know what he went. We talked about it. 296, 4 touchdowns, 17 to 26, I believe.
What's that across his face?
It looked like a cross. It could be a cross. You know what I'm saying?
Like a shadow. He got a shadow. He painted his whole. What is that?
Oh no, it's just the way the picture was taken. I took.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
He was masking up.
Silver medalist Chris Zellis, his performance against Richmond, and Kevin White's performance against Norfolk State, because he behold that ass whooping. Right? So those are your silver medalists for the week, Chris Zellis and Kevin White.
I love Chris Zellis, man. Right now, like I say, I'm gonna be paying attention to him for the rest of the season, especially in the CAA, man. You talking about 24, 34, 256, a touchdown, an interception, 14 carries, 60 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Great dual threat quarterback. He's knocking on the door as well as being one of the best football players in Black college football. And for me right now, he's my favorite football player at quarterback in Black college football.
Agreed. And for the gold medal, listen, he went with Aaron Allen. I went with Davius Richards. I just think there was more put on Davius. 21 to 34, 174 yards, 21 carries. I keep getting that 174 wrong. It was 260 something. 86 yards and 4 touchdowns. I pretty much just copied and paste.
Yeah, he was 265 in the air.
265 in the air. And then Aaron Allen, your boy.
I went with Aaron Allen for gold just because he's been questionable all year. And then for him to explode in this situation on the road against Bama State, former SWAC East foes, and he goes on the road and Alcorn gets a much-needed SWAC victory. And for him to explode, we've seen him barely get 100 yards passing the game. And all of a sudden, he's knocking on the door of 400 yards in a game. For me, and to see Alcorn in that position, I had to give it to Aaron Allen. I like Davius Richards, and guess what? I just assumed that's what he does. But I wasn't assuming that Aaron Allen was going to surprise us come Saturday night, that his stats was going to look like this. He's the SWAC player of the week this week. And because of that, he gets a gold medal because nobody saw this one coming. So kudos to him for stepping up and stepping up big for his team, for Alcorn, getting a victory on the road, and as well as putting up the numbers that he did. 46 passing attempts. My God, that's a lot of passing attempts.
He said,
especially when the run game wasn't working. What you say?
My God.
Hit me with the drum beat. My God.
I got you on the.
My God.
Oh my goodness, boy, you stupid. But that was a good one.
But shout out to Aaron Allen, man. Hell of a game, man. 370, man. I did not see that coming. I swear I did not see that one coming.
Man, it's crazy. Why is everybody? I never understand why people want to come when I'm doing the show.
I already know what this is. Yeah, I know what this is. You gave it up. Yeah. We calling the audible. I see the play. I see what's happening. Come on with it.
Our fans our administration, our students, we brag different. You guys don't follow social media probably as far as getting in chat boards and all that stuff. But our people talk big talk, all right? Because they know we can back it up. We can back it up in the classroom, we can back it up socially, and we gonna back it up on the football field.
And you already know. For the FAMU takeover, please give it up for none other than Mr. Campbell.
First of all, Cadillac ought to be on the phone asking you, why the hell are you shooting a commercial for them representing FAMU? It makes no sense. Cadillac and FAMU ain't got nothing to do with each other. You got a whole damn FAMU coming in to FAMU with a Cadillac commercial. Come on, man.
Hey, it's a fire though. You gotta give credit. That just gets
it's just a damn car flying up the road with the band playing in the back. What's so fire about that?
It's fire.
See, this is the difference between Southern people and FAMU people. He said Cadillac got nothing to do with FAMU. Cadillac symbolizes class, old school black money. See, down in Southern, see, if Perry would have did the introduction, it'd be a Chevrolet.
It'd be a Jaguar.
It'd be a Chevrolet. See, but when we come in, we come in. Now, you heard my coach. What did my coach say?
He said, y'all talk big talk.
And he said, some of them people.
Yeah, on the chat boards.
I'm one of those people he's talking about. That's me. That's them rappers. So y'all know what week this is. This is Florida A&M University.
Who?
Florida A&M University.
Who?
A football power versus Southern University, the band school. Now, what Perry will do tonight, I'm telling you something, because Perry and I did my research. I came prepared.
Speak for me.
You know who's number one ranked in the band rankings? Perry, I know you know, don't you?
I don't know. Who we getting it from?
HBCU game. This is the ranking that they're using to get to the Celebration Bowl band contest.
You're using it through HBCU game day?
They're taking it from ESPN, and then you know how they regurgitated.
Yeah,
Southern was number one.
Exactly. Southern was number one. So you know what that means. That's the only way Southern's going to see the Celebration Bowl, by the band, because the football team is definitely not going to make it.
That's how you've been feeling for the past 2 years, ain't it?
Listen. And
that's how you've been feeling for 2 years.
And let me tell you something. And you have been feeling that even longer. So that's not even a problem.
We've been in a championship. Y'all been talking all that winning. Y'all been seeing yourself proclaiming yourself shit.
Well,
and ain't seen a championship in the EA or the SWAC.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. We are going to be Celebration Bowl bound. We'll watch your band on Friday, and y'all can watch them play football on Saturday. That's what we'll do. That's no problem. That's no problem. And you know what? Before we get started, you see this beautiful sweatshirt I got, Scotty?
That's nice.
That's nice.
Probably too damn hot for it too.
No, hold on. But no, I wore this for a reason. Mama Body sent this to me. Okay, and this is Korean. That's Korean.
Yeah,
right?
that's Korean.
You know what this says in Korean? Andrew the FAMU. That's what that says. So it says, that's why Mama Body actually sent this to me in orange. It says in Korean, Andrew the FAMU. See, y'all didn't even notice. See, I'm trying to give y'all the subliminals already. So that's what it is. So you know what? So I got my Andrew Body FAMU sweatshirt on already. And I'm here with my brother that I respect so much, Perry White. So now go ahead. Let's go.
Well, I like the respect that you said respect, but you might get disrespectful. So I don't know where this gonna go.
No. I'm not gonna, Perry. Listen, I ain't gonna call you no crazy names. We just gonna talk about our teams and picks and things like that. And in the end, you'll realize that y'all are a band school and FAMU will be playing Celebration.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how a school can come in here and win so many games and have so much success with nothing to show for it.
Hmm.
Well,
When was the last time?
You should know this in the Dawson era. You should know this.
I get that. But when was the last time y'all won a championship?
You know what, Perry? That's a good question. I can't, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I can't even remember. But it doesn't matter because today's 2023.
I understand.
Talking about. That's
and
what
one thing I do know about FAMU, right? Southern and FAMU, for a lot of people who don't know, the new age people, right?
Exactly.
This is one hell of a rivalry. I know people talk about the Southern and Jackson because y'all don't have nobody but Bethune-Cookman, right? We got plenty of teams we can go out and have big games with, which is why y'all came over to the
Absolutely.
I get it, right? Going broke, going up and down the road. Y'all got so much money. But look, at the end of the day, what was it, from 1951 to 2001, or the 50s? I'll just say from the
1949 actually was the first game.
Excuse me. But consistently, all the way into 2001, it was the longest non-conference game that was continuously played between Southern and FAMU. And you got some classics when you talk about these teams because there are a lot of championships and a lot of wins that come between these two programs. You talked about the band. I understand why you don't mention the Marching 100 because nobody mentions the Marching 100. So there's no need to bring them in.
The same Marching 100 that actually is the only HBCU band that actually won the Pseudo Award. But that band, the only one that has played in more Super Bowls and more pregnancies all day than any band. The band that went to Paris and while y'all were watching. So, but that band.
Nobody was watching was the point.
That band.
Nobody was watching.
That band. It's okay.
No, not number one.
That's
all I'm saying is,
I told you he was going to make the band argument.
No, I'm going to go back to it because the rivalry is a rivalry that I think since the early 2000s for a lot of younger Southern fans and a lot of younger FAMU fans, they don't really understand the implications of what this rivalry really is. My first FAMU Southern game was actually in 2011 in the Atlanta Football Classic.
Okay.
And I said, who the hell, all them ugly ass colors sitting there. It was a lot of y'all, but it was some ugly ass colors sitting over there.
Yeah, that orange and green. That orange and green. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that game, we won that game.
Yeah, then what happened next year?
But hold on, but you know, Perry, it's interesting that you said that. As I was doing research, you know, on your website, they said Southern lost 5 in a row.
On Southern's website.
On Southern's website, that y'all had lost 5 in a row. I went on FAMU's website, said 4. Now, there's some reason the game that you said that y'all won, Southern doesn't have that on there. So were you guys ineligible or something? Because
you were there in 2012. You saw that game.
I've been there for a whole bunch of them. I've been there for FAMU games. I've been there for Jackson. This is what I'm talking about, Southern. And this is for my Jackson folks. Southern actually was the first band that started singing in front of the band. They did that in Jackson, Mississippi, and sung Real Love. So I'm a big fan of Southern University. I understand it. I understand the culture. And I am always impressed of what the greatness that band school does. Absolutely.
And congratulations for y'all for coming to the SWAC and they ain't brought nothing with you in what the past. How many? Once again, I got a question.
Okay.
What was the last championship?
I can't remember. But you know what I do remember since we've been to the SWAC? We've beaten everybody's ass since we've been here.
But you got nothing to show for it.
We've beaten everybody's ass since we've been in the SWAC for some
I hear that. And ain't got a damn trophy.
It's a strange thing that since we've been here, we've beaten everybody's ass. But that's okay.
Where's the trophy for it, though?
But guess what? We'll get it this year.
You ain't even won a division in the conference.
Guess what? We will win it this year. Have you won this one?
Have we won what?
Wait a minute. So have you?
Have we won what? Hold on. Wait.
Been a Celebration Bowl.
You know they backdoored.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. They haven't been to Celebration Bowl, and neither have we. So you know what? So we
haven't even won a division. You didn't even place on the top of the MEAC.
We just got here.
Oh, now we just got here.
Wait a minute.
I thought y'all was coming.
It's true. They did just get
so
it.
he wants to count, but I'm gonna tell you what I will count is that we've beaten your ass more than you've beaten us. Now that I do know. Now that is a thing. In the last 10 games, you have only won twice. So that's what I do know between Southern. Since we're talking Southern and FAMU, okay? So we're here right now. And we will see you on Saturday. So we can look at so we can proceed. We can proceed.
I just say y'all ain't got nothing to show for all that talk.
I got it.
All that air you breathing out, you still can't say about a division. You can't even say, when was the last time y'all won a MEAC championship?
I can't remember. You know, I'm just saying this, even though I do know, I'm just going to let you have. I can't remember. But I do remember that we have beaten y'all ass every time we've been in the SWAC.
I just remember that self-proclaimed.
You know, I'm getting
that in 2019.
I can't
remember. Was ineligible. And y'all sit there, we black college national champs.
And you know what? And you know the funny thing about that? The person that won the thing, we beat their ass too on the way out. See, that's amazing. We don't win no championship, but we win the shit talking championship.
That's it. Y'all just win games for nothing to show for it.
Well, you know what? And all I'm going to say is I ain't seen you in the Celebration Bowl raise the trophy either. So tell me when it's...
I ain't even seen you in a championship game.
Wait, so I'm going to ask you a question. Have I seen Southern represent the SWAC in the Celebration Bowl?
Let's start with this. Let's start with, before you get there, let's start with a championship game. Have we even seen FAMU compete for a championship or play for it?
We don't have championships in the MEAC, but I'm telling you what we do have.
Even get in the top two.
We do have. We actually have playoff wins in a playoff that y'all don't know nothing about. We actually have the only school that has ever won the 1AA championship, which is FAMU. We have those. So we have those. I know you don't know anything about that because y'all don't know about.
What year was the last year y'all won a playoff game?
I can't remember. I remember
That's what I'm saying. You got good memory.
I remember.
You know what I remember? A smart man, right?
I remember the last 3 times since Perry been around. Compare, see, Perry
was a smart man, Mr. Campbell, and got great memory. You talk about all them dancing dogs you took back to the room and all that drink that you didn't have, but you can't remember a playoff victory.
I can't remember
a championship. But then you got the gall to come on here and talk some shit because you got on an orange hoodie. Come on,
wait a minute. So let me see this. We've been in the SWAC 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. We beat Southern 2 years. Mm-hmm. The year before we got to the SWAC, we beat Southern. So all I know is that since we've been in the SWAC, they haven't won anything, and we haven't won anything. Sounds pretty fair to me. And the thing about it, since head to head,
at least we won a division.
Listen, you know what they say? At least we won a division.
You hoping to win the East for once. You so glad. Listen to that energy you got. You so glad that you in the East and finally got a chance to win that division. Round of applause. I'm happy.
Listen. And you know what?
Happy for you. Y'all finally got something.
And you know what? And the same thing, because I'm from Jackson. And see, it's the same thing. And they were glad. And how many times did Jackson whoop y'all ass in the last 2 years alone? 4? 4 times?
I mean,
Jesus.
All I'm going to say is this.
Jesus.
You couldn't get past Alcorn for like 5 years running. Let's give it a butt. Alcorn moves over. And I mean, that's the only thing that was saving y'all from even being in another championship. And from being honest, so I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
But
nonetheless, we playing for championships. Unlike FAMU, you ain't been in no championship.
Well, y'all clearly ain't playing for them either. That's all. I'm just saying. I just can't remember this year's
Celebration Bowl and can't even win a conference.
Wait a minute. We can't win a Celebration
Bowl.
Let's talk. That's how y'all win the conference. You know what? We bargained this down. Let's go, Scotty. Let's go. We got a lot of stuff to go. Got a lot of stuff to go.
We'll get it both ways. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right. You say hell out there.
Hey, that's why. I'm just throwing out a little fact.
You catch the elbow.
HBC,
about all corny shit.
But that's fair.
Ain't got nothing to do with this.
They've been keeping you out of championship for quite a while. All right, Perry, hit him with your top 5.
We don't get that beautiful shit we had.
Nah, I had to do it this time. It was all this all me right here. This all me. I ain't got that Photoshop down. Yeah.
All right, so my HBCU power rankings this week. This is my top 5, and of course, you see some teams that's different from last week that wasn't on there, and you see some teams this week. Prairie View for me had to come out of there. Norfolk State had to come out of there. Both teams took a loss. Last week, Hampton was on the bubble, so I'll start at the bottom. Grambling State right now getting that victory against Texas Southern and then getting a big victory against Prairie View this weekend at the State Fair Classic. For me, now putting themselves in a position to be at the top of the SWAC West 2-0. I think right now when you look at their offense and you look at the way that they're playing, right now Grambling deserves to be in the top 5. They're a serious, legit contender for the SWAC West, and I can't help but give them respect in terms of where they at this year compared to last year. I like what they're doing offensively. Jackson State in that 4th spot. I had to drop them down a spot just because they had a bye week last week and other teams played games. But Jackson State still, to me, with victories against Southern, victory against South Carolina State, for me, that still matters in terms of the victories that they have. 3 wins on the season. But they dropped down the spot. It'll be a tough test for them this week against Alabama A&M. Hampton was a team that was on the bubble, and the big win that they got against Richmond, for me, that was enough for me to thrust them up into the poll, and not only that, to put them at the 3rd spot. I just think overall, with the body of work that they've been able to do, the accomplishments that they had, and the fact that I like Christopher Zealous, their starting quarterback, a real dual threat quarterback, I like Hampton's chances, and right now they're the 3rd best team in Black college football. FAMU going on the road to Mississippi Valley State last week. Of course, FAMU, like you said, Mr. Campbell, they're having their way in the SWAC East right now. And they had their way in It'll Mississippi. I like what FAMU does. They're still the number 2 spot. And for me, North Carolina Central. I had some backlash last week, people saying, well, FAMU should be number 1. North Carolina Central should be number 2. But for me, North Carolina Central is still the defending Black college national champion. And the fact that they were able to get over that hump against Campbell in a non-conference victory, for me, and the way that they did it, they're the number 1 Black college football team for me. So Grambling number 5, Jackson State number 4, Hampton number 3, FAMU number 2, and number 1 North Carolina Central.
I like it. I like it. Mine looks a little different. I think a lot of people aren't putting respect on Howard and what their body of work has been doing. I like Howard. They had a win over Robert Morris, but they're just a different team. My power rankings is like a team I wouldn't want to see right now. That's how I kind of thought about this in my head. I'm like, who wouldn't I want to play right now? And this is where I came up with my power rankings. Grambling at number 4, the high-flying offense of what they can bring and what they have. I can't put them in front of Hampton simply because Hampton beat them. Close game, but they beat them. So got Grambling at number 4. Hampton at number 3, very simply because they are explosive. I mean, just as much as they'll give you, it's just as much as they'll take away. You know what I'm saying? But I love what they got with Christopher Zealous. Hold on. All right, cool. We're back.
There is one other participant in the conference.
All right, so and with Hampton, got to make that happen. FAMU, they were number 1 for me last week. They struggled with Valley. It didn't like the way it looked. I had to drop them down. And with the huge win that NCCU had over Campbell, the resiliency of it, coming back, winning it, I got to put them back at number 1. For me, just because they're the Black national champs does not mean they should just stay at number 1 until they lose. That's not how I look at it. Like week to week, how did you perform and how did you look? So for me, NCCU looked like the best. They looked like a number 1 team. And with the resiliency, FAMU didn't look like a number 1 team to me with the struggles of FAMU and anything like that. But I really think people need to start looking at what Howard has done and is doing in the MEAC because they look solid. They look really good. Quentin Williams looks good. The running backs that they have look good as well. Defense is stepping up and playing. And, I mean, they lost a close one to Hampton. So, definitely one of those teams. Mr. Gam, what you got on this? Any of these power rankings?
You know what? I like this, but I'm sorry. I can't go with you. I got to go more with Perry's. I got to put Jackson State back in there. I like NCCU at 1. I totally agree how they played. I think they played a little bit more consistent than FAMU. FAMU still at 2 because I think we have a higher ceiling than everybody else. I've got Jackson State at 3. I've got Hampton at 4, and I got Grambling at 5.
All right. Listen. I just Jackson State doesn't scare me. That's the stage. Like when I think of a power, and this is me personally, I know they're coming off a bye. What I saw with Bethune, really, I didn't really like what I didn't see a dominant team against Bethune, which Bethune isn't that they're not that good. So I'm just not seeing where I'm not seeing the growth week to week. You know what I'm saying? Now they're winning ugly. They're winning it ugly, but I'm not seeing the growth.
Well, let me ask you a question. On a neutral field, who you got, Jack State or Howard?
Howard.
Really?
Yeah. On a neutral field, I got Howard. I got Howard. Now, if you're going at the vet, I'll slide it to Jackson. But Howard on neutral field, I got Howard.
I just think that just when I've seen Howard, and I just think that Jackson State has more explosive playmakers. And I think their defense is just a little bit better than Howard's. That's the reason why I just can't put Howard in there.
Man, listen, Howard's offensive line, so bad was just disgusting. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? Grambling head to head with Jackson. I would go Grambling. I mean, Hampton. I mean, these are explosive teams. Like these are teams you just don't want to see. And I think the higher you get up, the more balanced these teams are, except NCCU, which is real surprising to me, is because defensively, NCCU is just not that team. You know what I'm saying? I think the most complete team on this list is FAMU. That's why, to me, they should be number 1. But the way they've been playing against Valley, it just is what it is. All right, let's get to the Week 6 picks. Whoa, Dave said I got Hampton at number 1. That boy came in strong. All right. First up, is this even? Yeah, they play this week. Okay, I'm like, yo, I know I got this right. PV Valley, Ms. Ken, what you got?
Well, we were supposed to do, a crime report for PV. Because I don't know how many of you all saw the show earlier. Mike Reed actually went to the game. And Mike Reed said that after halftime, the PV people went missing, right?
Yeah, he did say.
So I got a call. We got alerted. And the off-script crime team was supposed to come. But it was only 15 people, and we didn't want to waste our time looking for them. So you know what I'm saying? 15 people don't need to looking for them. So that's what it was. So you know what? Y'all find your way home. We ain't got no time for that. It's got to be at least 25 or more for us to start looking. But this is the thing. Valley, once again, is Valley. I think PV, because didn't PV a couple of years ago lose to Valley?
Twice,
exactly.
Back to back.
I kind of knew. I just wanted to set that up.
Yeah.
So PV, do not take them for granted.
Jeez.
But I think they understand. I think Bubba understands what's going on. Because, like I said, again, if they lose to Valley again, then their season is over.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take Prairie View, their 15 fans, and hopefully they'll show up and be back at the game.
No, that's what. Barry, what you got?
P Valley. There's something between these two teams.
That's a good one. I give you that. That's good.
You like that one?
I like that one.
Valley has had success over Prairie View. They've won the last 2. The last time they came, Prairie View and Coach Eric Dooley was on the way to a SWAC championship in front of 700 fans the day after Thanksgiving. Valley went into Prairie View and upset the SWAC West champs. Last year, Prairie View had an opportunity to clinch the SWAC West division. Going up to Itabena, Valley was able to get it done. This is not the same Valley team that Vincent Dancy had that was tough-nosed. I think Valley tries, but I'm going to go with Prairie View in this one over Valley.
Yeah, I'm going to go Prairie View with this one. It's not even a question. Next game. I mean, I like that you guys drew that out, though. Elon versus NCCU. Listen, this is a battle of ranked opponents. I believe NCCU is ranked either 12th or 10th.
I think they're 11th.
11th? Okay.
I believe so.
And I think Elon's around like that 15, 18, around that area as well. So this is going to be a game. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't seen a lot of Elon. I ain't even gonna hold you. But for me, I'm gonna roll with Elon on this one. NCCU's defense just isn't. I know what I'm gonna get. Thank you, sir. I know what I'm gonna get from NCCU offensively. Right, but defensively, can they stop somebody? And I do not know. I'm gonna go Elon on this one.
So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys saw on social media. There was a lot of trash talking from the NCCU people.
Really?
They was letting them know because my HBCU niece and the person that she called crazy, but she loves D, started trouble, and they got in her behind. So let me tell you something. Even the coach even responded. So that lets you know how sensitive them folks down there in North Carolina Central. They still got low self-esteem, even if they won the Celebration Bowl. But with that being said, I think they are going to win this game. I think, again, they're going to beat them white folks. I think they're going to go on a white folks winning streak. So I'm going to go black folks 2, white folks 0. So give me North Carolina Central.
A white folk winning streak. What you got, P?
Black college football right here, man, with North Carolina Central. They're my number 1 team. They're defending national champs. This is a top 25 matchup. This is the type of stuff you look for when you build a program to put yourself in a position to have this type of outing. And this kind of quiet the naysayers if you can go out and get a victory like this who think black college football isn't that good. And the MEAC has shown with the way that they play the non-conference. I'm going to roll with North Carolina Central in this one. And I felt talking about this week could either make me or break me, but I'm going to roll with North Carolina Central. I like the resiliency that they had against Campbell last week. And I like to roll that over to Elon. And I think Trey Oliver does a great job keeping his teams in games. And Davius Richards is a baller.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a straight up baller. And if I'm going to rely on him, I think he can rally this offense and get it done. I'm going to roll with NCCU.
Let me say this. I think the NCCU Campbell game, I think that caused a lot of emotion because you had the payback type of feel. They're at your home. They're in the nest. There's a lot of emotion behind it. I don't know if you can get back up for an Elon because I know because I mean the atmosphere. Everybody at the nest knew what this game meant because you could feel the energy watching the game that they're like, yo, this is our payback game. I don't know if NCCU gets back up for another PWI opponent. So that's why I'm gonna go with Elon on this one. And for what people in the chat say, Elon has a pretty good defense. So I'm really a strength against a strength. Which one's gonna break? We'll see. All right. Next up, let me start this off. I'm listen. You know how you say you bet on everything black like Israel? I'm betting everything against Delaware State. I cannot stand this Bama. I don't know who Lee. I cannot stand this Bama. I think he was the worst hire in black college football. I don't care what Central Connecticut looks like. I'm going with Central Connecticut. I don't care. I do not care. That's my 2 cents. I'm sorry.
So here's my thing. I have a personal animus against Delaware State. My personal business partner, when I had my sports agency, he went to Delaware State. He stole $300,000 from me. So that let me know what kind of Bamas they produce. So the hell with Delaware State, give me Central Connecticut. I'm sorry. I usually go, I bet everything black. Well, if you steal money from me, you ain't black no more.
Go ahead, P. What you got?
I told you this week could make or break me, and I'm rolling HBCU with this. So I'm going to take Delaware State over Central Connecticut. I looked at Central Connecticut's schedule. I wasn't impressed in terms of the opponents that they had. But at the same time, Delaware State hasn't really given me much to really believe in them. But I'm going to take Delaware State in this one. I think if it's one for them to get this, may be that one against Central Connecticut. And what is Central Connecticut? What is that? What is that mascot? What is that?
Look like a demon.
A demon.
Look like a demon with horns or whatever. I don't know.
Long chin. I don't know. What. I'm going to take Delaware State in this one.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Lee Hall. Now if it was the other guy, I think Rod Milstead, I liked him. Here we go. Perry, you can pop us off. No homo.
That boy, I know.
God, dog.
I said
no. Two of y'all at that. No, I ain't popping nothing off. I'll start. How about that? All right, we'll do that. All right, I'm gonna roll this Jackson State, Alabama A&M. This is a game that I think is going to separate both these teams right now, tied in second place over in the SWAC East with one loss. What the hell? So, you still laughing?
He said, "I'll start. I do that."
We ain't gonna do all that other stuff.
I'm sorry.
But both these teams are tied in second place in the SWAC East. This is a separation Saturday for one of these teams.
Oh, that's good.
And the way that I like that Jackson State has shown, it's not pretty, but they've gotten it done. And I see you putting respect. I've been seeing the J on here lately. You got the J on his chest. You got the J behind him on the logo. That means clearly you've seen something in them as well, because the disrespect didn't like it was a few weeks ago. But Alabama A&M and Cornell Maynard, I don't know really what to say about them. I saw them against Southern. I wasn't really impressed. But then I watched them against UAPB. They found a way to get it done. And then when they played the Division II schools like Lane and Tuskegee, they just whooped their ass. So they've shown that they have the power to have some type of offensive firepower, especially with Quincy Casey. But in this one, I like Irv Mulligan. That is one hell of a running back. For me, he's the best running back in the conference. And I think if Jason Brown struggles, you're going to see a lot of Irv Mulligan in this game. And I like Jackson State in this one. I'm going to take JSU over Alabama A&M.
Let me start off like this. See, if your coach does that lets me know I can't trust him. So I'm telling you right now. Now, everybody knows I'm from Jackson, but I'm not going to even go with my heart. I don't like Alabama A&M's defense. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the run. I think Irv Mulligan is going to have a really big game. And I think, again, Quincy Casey, I think this is going to be one of those games where he has the up. He had the up against Tuskegee, and I think he has the down against Jackson State. I think it's going to be close. And I think the other thing, too, I think Jackson State don't want to take their ass back down to Mobile anymore. So I think they're going to kick Alabama A&M's ass and going back to Jackson. So I got Jackson by 2 touchdowns.
All right. I'm going to pick this game with my boy Mike on Wednesday.
And to me, A&M is nothing more right now than a glorified Division II football program.
Wow. I'm gonna just say this. They probably have one of the top 5. They probably got a top 5 front seven.
I didn't see it against Southern.
Yeah, they didn't run for 100 yards.
But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, hold on. This is what I'm talking about.
What?
I'm talking about also pass rush. I'm talking about being.
Legit.
I saw Southern when they need to shut those guys down. I did not see it. That's what I'm talking about. And again, I'm like Perry. I don't think they played the competition that I think Jack State has played.
Listen, I'm gonna say the same thing on Mike's show. the weakness of A&M is their DBs, but it's not their front seven. Their front seven is legit. I mean, you can look at it stat wise, like they're a great run stopping. It to me, this is a game of strength against a strength. Which one is going to break? Jackson State's run offense or Alabama A&M's run defense? That's where it's going to come down to, because if you go on the backside, Jack State DB suck, A&M DB suck. Who you taking, Jason Brown or Quincy Casey? I'm taking Quincy Casey just straight off arm talent alone. So, there's either way, you know what I'm saying, however you want to go. But I think this is a very even match game. And if this is a game that A&M wants, this is the game you need to win.
Well, no, they have to win it. Because let me tell you, this is the funny thing about it. This game right here for A&M, they've got to win this game. Because, see, this sets them up for a matchup on two things that they got to beat. They got FAMU there, and then they got Alabama State at the Magic City Classic. They beat Jackson State. They got one game, really, to win, and that's beating FAMU. So this game means way more to them than what it does to Jackson.
That's fair.
When you look at the schedule.
That is fair. It's going to be a good one. But I'll talk to hey, Mike. See you on Wednesday, my boy. See you on Wednesday. All right, next up. Little Bill, Alabama State. And let me tell you this, the only reason why he don't got no P on his shirt is because it takes a lot of effort. Okay, I got to like background removal, magic eraser. It just take too much. I'm just like, all right, it ain't worth all that. But anyway, Bethune-Cookman, Alabama State. Mr. Campbell, what you got?
Now, this is now when I saw this, right, because I looked at the schedule of what we were going to be picking.
Yeah.
This one is an interesting game because Bethune-Cookman, I think, really shocked the world against Jackson State. And this is the thing about, and I'm going to tell you something. Alabama State, that loss, because they lost a tough one to FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Alco, which they thought. I think this team is in disarray. I don't think this team is going to be really ready to play this game. I got Bethune-Cookman in an upset.
Wow. Hey, chat, let me know where it's at. Who's home and away. Perry, what you got?
The battle of the ball head brothers in this one. Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman. Bethune showed a tough out against Jackson State, and that was really impressive to see that they have that fight in them, to see where they at. Bama State with only one win on the season, of course, against Southern. And that was a heartbreaking loss last week to Alcorn. I just still think I'll roll with Bama State in this one. I think Bama State still, for me, they have pieces. They just don't know how to use their pieces. But I'm gonna go with Bama State in this one. I mean, this really a toss-up. I could see Bethune-Cookman possibly getting this victory, and I keep it short and sweet, Bama State.
Let me make just one more quick point. I just think that this coach wants to prove you wrong, and he's gonna try. D. Davis out there once again.
Man, listen,
I'm telling you, because this guy has an ego, and it's very. Because see, this is the thing, and I got to make this point because this made me think about it. Look how they played FAMU. There's no way D. Davis should ever saw the field ever again.
Not ever again.
That was the game that said, you know what, guys? We got our quarterback.
Let's go run.
For him to go back to D. Davis lets me know this guy cares more about what he thinks than what anybody else thinks. And I'm the coach. You don't know. So I think his ego is going to get in the way. And see, this is the type of game that Bethune has sneakily won because they'll keep it close. And I'm telling you something. D. Davis makes a play negatively, and that's why Bethune-Cookman gets this guy.
I think for me, I'm really rooting for the chaos, because if you lose your homecoming to Bethune-Cookman, I mean, I think Alabama State's the better team. They are the better team.
They are the better team.
But, I mean, I'm picking Alabama State to win, but inside of me, I want the pure chaos. Because if you lose to Bethune-Cookman at homecoming, you don't have a chance to make it throughout the season. No. I mean, you're on a very, very, very short leash. And listen, I would tell you this. I'm going to be upset. If I see Luke Sprague walk out there, Bethune-Cookman's starting quarterback and not the backup guy, Bethune-Cookman probably wins this game. He's that good. I do think he's that good. And I think he can make some plays. I don't know about the skill players per se. I haven't really seen anybody really flash.
Right.
But I agree with you. The way to play Jackson, if you can do what you did to Jackson,
that's what I'm talking. That defense, and I'm gonna tell you something. That DB, that kid that made a Dion interception. Hey man, listen, and I'm just telling you something. It's something about D. Davis I just can't trust. Because here's the thing, as they say, your record is what you say.
Your record is what you are.
What you are.
That's what they say. Your record is what you say you are. So, listen, I would feel bad for Alabama State, boy, if they lose their homecoming to Bethune-Cookman. That is crazy. All right, next up.
What?
What?
Why would you put this one up there?
What?
Let's just skip through this one. Howard.
Yeah. Versus Northwestern?
Do you know what Northwestern this is?
No, is this not the right Northwestern?
No, this is the right Northwestern.
Yeah,
but this
it's
is
in Northwestern,
Power
right?
5
Yeah.
FBS Northwestern.
Yeah, you said Howard.
I mean, excuse me, Northwestern.
No, that's what you know. You
my
said.
bad. Yeah, Northwestern all day, every day.
I guess he said, "Why are we even picking this?"
No, I was confused because I was like, "Is he really picking Howard right now?"
Well, I was like, Howard, like yeah, we got this one. If Howard wins,
let me just say this real quick. Howard gonna have the fresher jerseys with them Jordan jerseys. I'm telling you that right now. I'm gonna give him the jersey win now.
I'm gonna give him the look.
Hey, them Jordan jerseys, Howard Jordan jerseys is real.
I say this: if Howard win that game, they number one on my HBCU poll next week. I'm just telling. I don't give a damn what nobody say. They number one off top, and everybody else follows.
What if it's a close one?
Huh?
What if it's a close one?
They gotta win it for me to just get it.
No.
If they win it, they got to win that. If they can win that, they number one on my poll next week.
I say if it's close.
Listen, I tell you what, if Howard win that game, Puffy better get him $5 million.
Facts. That's facts. All right, Stony Brook, Morgan State. Perry, what you got?
You know, I looked at this game. I like the way Morgan State has played against out-of-conference opponents. They've been right there. Morgan State, I mean, if the ball swing they way for the past few weeks, Morgan State could clearly probably be number one on my Black College.
Easily.
I mean, you look at the game against
Norfolk.
You look at the game against Akron. They have been right there amongst the pack of everybody, and they play good football, but they're the same way like I talked with Dawson Odoms at Norfolk. 4 quarters of football, and that matters. You got to be able to close games out. But because they play in Stony Brook, I'm going to take I'm going to take Morgan State just because I've seen the type of competition, the way that they played against that type of competition. I like them in this. Maybe they get over the hump and finally get that second win of the season.
Man, for me, I'm going with Morgan State because that's who I picked, but I'm just like, this offense, they got to figure out something offensively. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, can you find something? I mean, like, try Wildcat. I don't care what it looked like.
Wing T,
because your defense is so good that you just need something. And it's sad. I mean, it really is sad. But I'm going Morgan State. I think they are the better team. I just offensively, man, God, dog, I can't put it past them.
You know, Morgan State reminds me of a girl I tried to date in Jackson. You know them church girls with a big booty that tease you that don't never give you none? Morgan's that type of school. They just tease you. They look good, got a nice, but you know what? Ain't gonna never give you nothing. So here's the thing. So here's my thing with Morgan. You see them, and you say this team should be much better.
Much better.
And they're playing Stony Brook, which I think everybody said they have not won a game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Morgan and the tees this time.
Morgan and the tees.
So I'll take Morgan.
Morgan and the tees. Oh man. Oh man. I don't even remember who I picked in this one. I might have to Jesus Christ. What you got, Mr. Campbell?
So we have Hampton, correct. Mm-hmm. And the great white hope that everybody always hoping for. Campbell is nothing. I have heard more about Campbell than North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and they never win anything. They got the #1 recruiting class. Get their ass whooped. They got this coach. He coached pro football like Deion. Get their ass whooped. I am not picking Campbell. I'm not. Give me Hampton all day long because this team has done nothing but be the haters team. This is the haters team. Because every time the haters come out, they pick Campbell.
Every time the haters come out. They wanted Campbell to beat Jack State. They wanted Campbell to beat North Carolina Central. No, they're not going to beat anybody, and they're not good. And I hate the coach. But honestly, look at their record. Campbell I don't even think has had a winning record in the last 4 years. So I'm not going to take them. Give me Hampton. What you got, P?
I'm surprised he wouldn't pick a school that's his very last name.
Listen, man, that Campbell name is a slave. That Campbell name is a slave name. That Campbell name is a slave name. That ain't my name. That's a name that was given to me. That ain't the name I wanted. So no,
that's your very name. Second, you going against him, but
and you better look up who started Campbell. That's another reason why I won't claim them Campbells. Go look at who started that school. They ain't no friends of mine. Them Campbells own Campbells. Them Campbells on the Campbells that look like me.
You may have some lineage over there, man.
And guess what? They still ain't gonna cut me no. They still ain't gonna cut me no check. And guess what? And they still not gonna cut me no check.
Oh,
I'm gonna roll with. I told you this week could probably make or break me, and I'm rolling HBCUs tough this week, especially in these non-conference games. I'm gonna roll with Hampton against Campbell in this one. I mean, Campbell was impressive last week against North Carolina Central, but I like Hampton. Hampton is snuck into my HBCU top 5 poll, and the way that Hampton has been playing, once again, Christopher Zealous, he's going to be the difference makers in this game. If he can limit the turnovers and be efficient with his legs, and most importantly, efficient with his arm, I think they can be straight. And is it Elijah Burris?
Yeah, the running back. Yeah, the running back.
Yeah, they're going to need both those guys because, you got to respect Burris and Zealous with their legs. And so hopefully that opens up the passing game for Hampton in this one for Christopher Zealous. But I'm going to take Hampton in this one. I think they get it done. And I'm going to go out on a limb. Something in me is feeling Campbell, but I like Christopher Zealous. I like Hampton. And so far, Hampton has been playing some really good football. Only one loss on the season. It's been to Norfolk State. I'm going to roll with Hampton.
I had to pick Campbell because I needed to get my picks. I gotta get back in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta get back in the game. But let me say this: seeing the way that NCCU was able to run the ball against Campbell, and that's what Hampton's bread and butter is really running the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if Elijah Burgers runs for like 130 to 140. If they let Mookie and Davis do what they did, and especially Christopher Zealous is way faster than Davius Richards. He's not as broad and as big as him, but he's way more explosive. I wouldn't be surprised if Hampton put it out, but I gotta get my picks back. So I had to go back and check. Who I picked? I was like, I rolling with Campbell. Gotta get my dubs back. Get back in the game. All right,
and it's a conference game.
Yeah, definitely CAA conference game. I don't think much needs to be said. I'm going Villanova. NCAT don't know what they want to do. So Villanova, very simple for me, which I got.
Hey, this is Vincent Undertaker Brown, Mississippi Valley legend. With that being said, he's going to get buried this game. So there's no doubt about it. Nothing AT&T. They just I don't see them even touching Villanova. This is going to be a blowout.
Do you have my picks? I can't remember. Do you have what I?
Yeah, I had to go back. I think you picked Villanova as well. Let me double check.
Yeah,
you picked Villanova.
Villanova all day. Let's roll. I just wanted to make sure I don't go against myself. Villanova.
Woo! This one could have been a game of the week too, if I wanted to. Could have been. Let me get a. I know Perry ain't gonna participate because What you got, P? Go ahead and pop it off.
I like this matchup. Traditionally, this has always been a great one with Alcorn and Grambling, especially depending on where the game is. This year is at Alcorn. Grambling coming in off a big win off of Prairie View last week. Number 1 offense in the conference. Miles Crawley is one hell of a quarterback, and right now he's putting himself ascending at the top to be probably, if not the best quarterback in this conference right now. And what he does so well is limit turnovers. And then you look at between Chalk and Williams at the running back position for Grambling. Man, offensively, Grambling is a threat. But on the other side, you look at Aaron Allen. He grew up last week against Bama State. And Bama State's defense is not too shabby. But for him to go up and throw for 370 yards, Alcorn is going to have to try to find a way to get that run game. I'm just really surprised at the fact with Nico Duffy and Jarvion Howard that they really have not found success on the run game. But you know what? I'm going to do something here. And I told you this week, it's going to make or break me. I'm going to roll with Alcorn in this one for the upset over Grambling.
I don't really see this as I don't really see this as like one is like the better team, like upset worthy. Because Grambling has holes and Alcorn has holes. I think these I think.
Are you saying they have holes? Both schools?
Yeah, they have holes.
Both of them do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't get one. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that one definitely went over my head. I'm sorry.
That went over your head. So
I actually caught it. I got it. My bad. So are you?
I'm going with Grambling.
You going with Grambling?
Yeah, I'm going Grambling. I think the hardest part is the DBs for Grambling. You saw what Montario Hunt did. You see Malik Rogers is a guy that is sneaky good. I mean, he caught a huge 4th down play for Alcorn to get them in the field goal range to make the field goal. So definitely Malik Rogers and Montario Hunt are going to be problems for Grambling, because even in the PV game, if PV could have hit on some of those receivers, the game is completely different. But hopefully they can get that fixed. But I think Grambling's offense is going to be a little too much for Alcorn, so I'm going Grambling.
Now, you got the coach that called his player men's, and then you got Coach Hugh Jackson, who just found some men. Grambling actually gave my business my start. Grambling was the first school that believed in iWeave. So I'm always going to love Grambling. But this is the thing about this game is on the reservation. And I want to know, this is going to determine if Hugh can finally determine if he's going to be a good coach in the SWAC. Because you can't beat PV and then not win. Because to win the SWAC, you got to win road games. That is very key to win the SWAC. It's just the way it is. And like Perry said, this game has always been a big game. It's always been a close game. I'm sorry, I just got to go with those folks down in Alcorn. As much as I think Grambling, and my heart says the G-men, I just think that down at homecoming, and I think Alcorn lost their homecoming last year.
They did. I was there.
I think that Alcorn understands, and they're still in the race because that win against Alabama State was a big win again. So they're still in the race. I think the G-men dropped a very close one. But Grambling, I love you and I appreciate you. And I like I said, my heart says G-men, but my mind says the men's from Alcorn.
Yeah, my thing with this one is people from Alcorn are saying homecoming like it meant something. I was there at your last one. There was no home field.
Right.
They was quiet. They were quiet. You know what I'm saying? There's no home field advantage to me. I didn't see the home field advantage. I'm just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like they start off hot, but once that thing start getting a little shaky, them Bama's got colder than ice. So to me, I think Grambling's run attack, because Grambling's a more balanced offense.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think they're much better offense.
They are. Yeah. I mean, they simply are. And I haven't really seen Alcorn, 250 yards on the ground against Alabama State. I mean, Chance and Chalk are better backs than Alabama State. So I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of holes in both of these offenses.
I really want to go Grambling. I don't know. Let me say this. If Hugh can pull this off, then I'll be a believer in Hugh. I'm still, it's something about it. I think that he will do something just not to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're feeling each other. What's up? What you got?
Know what I like about this though? This is SWAC football, Alcorn and Grambling. And we can talk the stats and what somebody did last week all day, every day. But this is one of those games where you kind of throw that out. And this is when we start to get into the meat and the heart of SWAC football. And when you go back and just look at, it doesn't matter about the records. It don't matter what you did last week, who you thought was great for the whole season and coming to this game. It's just something about these SWAC matchups. And this is one of those SWAC matchups when you just look at, it never tends to go the way that you think it's going to go. And that's why I'm rolling with Alcorn in this one. But I love this. This is SWAC football at its finest with Alcorn and Grambling. And the fact that it's Alcorn's homecoming, Grambling fans, I'm sure, going to show up. They're going to be there with the band doing the GSU chant. But Alcorn, this is going to give them something to stand up for. This is going to give them something. Texas Southern, you said they lost last year. Alcorn and Texas Southern just don't give you that, right? And I felt, for me, they probably slept on them a little bit, like a lot of teams did last year on Texas Southern. But this is just a good old-fashioned SWAC football game. It's going to be rocking on the reservation. I already know it is. And something in me is just saying Alcorn with the dub, man. It's just, this one of those wacky SWAC games where a team win, and you like, I didn't even see this one coming. This is the one I don't think nobody sees coming, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just disagree. I think Grambling's running attack is going to be a problem for Alcorn, and Grambling's such a balanced offense that if you can't, the worst thing that you can do against an offense is not take something away.
Yeah.
And if you can't take something away that Grambling does, because they want to run the ball, let's be very clear about that. They would be happy throwing the ball 15, 20 times and running for 200 yards against Alcorn. That's a great day for the Grambling's offense. And I just don't see Alcorn stopping Grambling's rushing attack. When they gave up 100 yards against they gave over 100 yards against Stephen F. Austin. They gave up 100 yards against McNeese. They gave up 250 yards against Alabama State. I mean, that just doesn't go away because you're at homecoming. You have a problem stopping the run. So we'll see what it is. But I do think it will be a shootout because Gramblin's defense ain't that. So I mean, Aaron Allen should have plenty of opportunities to score. So we'll see.
Gramblin's first true road game this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played neutral sites at Dallas and in New Jersey.
Yeah. In New
and
Jersey.
They had a home game against Texas Southern and who was it? Florida Memorial.
Yeah.
So this is their first true road game on the season.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. All right, Kennesaw State, Tennessee. I'm gonna keep it simple. I went Eddie George on this one. I love the way they're playing. I mean, I absolutely love the intensity. Listen. I truly believe that Notre Dame game sparked something inside of Tennessee State that has allowed them to do what they do. And Jalen Ellis is really looking like what he's supposed to look like going forward. So I'm going Tennessee State on this one.
Where's this game at?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because Kennesaw State is masquerading with their almost 30,000 students on this level. I've watched Tennessee State play.
It's at Kennesaw.
Is that Kennesaw? So basically, Tennessee State is going to sell their joint out again, just like North Carolina A&T. So Tennessee State actually will have more fans in this game. That's the funny thing about it. It will have more fans. So I'm with you. So they're going to have the home field advantage. They're going to have a big alumni presence. I think they're going to bring the band down here to recruit, and I think they're going to pull out a close one. And I can't stand Kennesaw anyway, so I'm taking Tennessee State.
Kennesaw State with only one win on the season. I think I sent you earlier Tennessee State, but this one, I've been sitting on it all day. And I wanted to go all HBCUs, especially with Tennessee State in this one. But just something telling me Kennesaw State at home with one win, they find a way to get it done because Kennesaw State, when I looked at their schedule, I think they only have 9 games this year. So after this game, they only have 4 more games, I believe, on the schedule for the season. This is a do or die for Kennesaw State. And I picked Tennessee State, but I think I'm going to flip that, and I think I'm going to go Kennesaw State at home over Tennessee State.
Okay. All right.
Kennesaw State, yeah.
Okay. Got you. All right. Here we go. Man, hitting my keyboard and all type of stuff. Jesus. Game of the week. You already know what it is. FAMU. Southern. Perry White. Oh, I gotta go with the celebrity guest pick 'em.
What's his visor say?
It says Under Armour.
No, UM.
Oh, it's flipped. I had to flip the picture.
Oh.
It's just FAMU backwards.
Oh, okay. What the hell they be wearing over there?
Go ahead, celebrity picker.
So here's the thing. I had to put on my Tom Ford glasses to represent Kofi. This is the first time I've actually worn this shirt because this was Monday nights that I put you and Kofi together. And it was called the Afterglow. So we are still going to be going. This, and Perry can understand this. This is a big game. And I mean for HBCUs and on a serious talk, because this game brings a lot of history to it. We're talking about band tradition. We talk about football tradition. We're talking about alumni tradition. But for FAMU, we got to stay on schedule. And the thing that I've been looking at Southern, because the one thing, Southern played the bottom feeder on their side. We played the bottom feeder. Southern was more impressive. That was kind of concerning to me. But I then had to peel back the onion. Our defense, take out South Florida, is only giving up 10 points. And quiet as kept, as bad as we're playing, we're beating people by 14 points or more. So that means we're playing bad. So we should be due for at least a good game, not even a great game. And I think because we know how to go down to Southern, we know how to play, and I think this is where experience comes to play with Musa being in these games. I think he understands how to play in that environment. He's been in this environment. And I think also for us, again, to stay on schedule, do what we got to do, we can't mess around with Southern. And I think Southern has shown that some of this is fool's gold with their schedule. You know, a lot of it. The wins that they've gotten versus the losses. We've had good wins, and we've had teams that we were supposed to beat. We were supposed to beat Valley, we beat them down. Supposed to beat on West Florida, we beat them. We played South Florida tough, and we beat Jackson State down. And everybody has said in FAMU Nation we're not even playing well. So for me, I think I will take us, but I think it's going to be a close game. But the thing about it,
Give me a score.
Southern only gets 10, 17, 10.
17-10.
Yeah,
wow.
I don't think we score that much.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What you got? What you got, P?
You know, I like this matchup traditionally, like Mr. Campbell said. This is history right here, and we're starting to see history revisited because now FAMU joining the SWAC and these two teams being able to renew a rivalry that stood for 50 plus years. And now it gives the world an opportunity to see what these two great fan bases are like. When you look at FAMU and Southern, two fan bases that traditionally has always been in the top 5 in terms of stadium attendance, right? You talk about the top bands have always traditionally been in the top 5 of bands. Even in football, you look at two programs traditionally that have always been tough outs. These two programs make everybody stand up when they show up, right? And that's what I love about this. Two fan bases that mirror each other, that will sell out, that will show up and support their teams. FAMU right now has looked like the best team in black college football. We saw an impressive win against Jackson State. We saw how they took care of business against Alabama State. They looked really well against South Florida. That turned a lot of people's head in terms of how they were able to stay in the ball game. And right now for FAMU, having to go on the road against Southern, Southern has struggled. Southern losing its first 2 games against a subpar Alabama State and against a middle of the pack, as I want to say right now, in the top 5 teams of Jackson State. Eric Dooley is going to be the deciding factor of this game because right now, the only person I think that's keeping Eric Dooley his job thus far is Coach Miller, the defensive coordinator for Southern. He's done everything he can to keep Southern in games where the offense has stalled out, right? But FAMU has firepower, not only from the running back position, but is it Marcus Riley? You know, that's a guy that I think can be a difference maker when you're looking for somebody to step up and make a big play in the ball game. And plus, Willie Simmons has always been a finesse guy to me. He can get it done, whether it's pretty, whether it's ugly, whether he has a game manager at quarterback, or whether he just flat out has a pocket passer. He finds ways to get it done. But for me, Eric Dooley has to get this done. He is yet to truly have a marquee win on his resume as a head coach against the top tier teams in this conference. This is a marquee game against Florida A&M, and it does not fall better than to have it at home at A.W. Mumford Stadium in Baton Rouge. It's going to take Southern's fans to have to show up and really be that 12th man in this ball game. Make it a tough place for FAMU. And because of that, in this one, although I like FAMU in terms of the way that they play, because they play all 3 phases of the game, special teams, defense, and offense, I'm going to roll with Southern in this one, in this upset. I like what Southern's defense has been able to do. You can laugh. I mean, it's my pick. If I lose,
I'm surprised. Like I'm just saying, I'm not really like, oh, how surprising.
Well, because most of all, Eric Dooley has to get this victory. Like he has to know that the Jaguar Nation and the fan base are looking for a marquee victory. And since he's been here, he has not given us one. And this has to be a marquee victory because we've lost to Jackson State 3 times within the past year. So if you lose to FAMU, that'd be 3 losses to Jackson State and 2 losses to FAMU in 1 year.
Woo.
In 1 year. So I want to put that in perspective, especially with our fan base who has kind of checked out. They've checked out a little bit, and they had to wait and see where is this team going to go. Harold Blood showed me a little bit last week. It was against UAPB, but nonetheless, it was still a solid day for him. Southern's defense has stepped up. Southern's going to have to play all 3 phases of this game in order to win. But I think for Eric Dooley, you got to step up and have your team to play big this weekend. Eric Dooley knows the history of this rivalry, having coached at Southern for so long. And I'm going to go with Southern at home. If they call this an upset, I'll say it's an upset, and I'll take this. And if it messed me up in my overall ranking, this is one I'll bite the bullet for.
Of course. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to do anything less. Give me a score.
I don't really have one. If I was to say, Southern's been going up in points every week. Well, we was at 27 last week.
Ain't gonna be 27 this week.
I give it 28-27.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, that's what you asked. I mean, in your words.
No, yeah, realistic. Yeah, like realistic score. Like you went against UAPB. Like, okay.
I'm just saying, 28-27. I give you in this game. 28-27. I think it's a 1-point victory.
Okay. I'm going FAMU. Very simply, it's because they have the better defense. Now, I will say this: having Demetri Mosley and Jordan Carter back in your backfield that is for Southern. That's going to be huge because you need guys to cover Riley, Dixon, Mandigo, Sheree. You need bodies. You need everybody on deck. To me, FAMU and how they block Taj Brown and Jalen Campbell are going to be huge in this game. You cannot let them wreck your running attack. Willie has to commit to running the ball, but I don't see Southern going over 17 points. I see it 17-35 FAMU. Listen. Nobody. Listen. Harold Blood ain't that guy. Musa ain't that guy. So it's like, who do you trust more? I trust Musa. He's been through more, right? Do I think Gary Quarles is going to get off on the dark cloud? No. Like that D line is just unreal. What Anthony Dunn, General Hunt, Isaiah Major at the linebacker position. I mean, Kendall Bolt, like that dark cloud defense is legit. And to say that it's not, or to act like it's not, is poo-poo. And there's nothing that Southern does that FAMU hasn't seen.
Exactly. That's my thing. I've watched every Southern game, and of course I've watched every one of our games. And once again, we have not played a good game yet, and we're blowing people out. And our defense, again, just like Valley didn't move the ball. Valley moved the ball because of penalties.
I wouldn't even start it at Valley. I would go back to Jackson. If you're taking Jackson and Southern, Jackson has the better run game.
Absolutely.
Right? They can't throw it, but they have the better run game. If you're talking about South Florida and Southern, who has the better passing attack? South Florida. You get what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make any sense to me of I'm not saying like Southern. Of course, Southern fans gonna pick Southern. That's what that school is. But if you look at it football wise, the only way this game goes in Southern's favor is Musa turns the ball and gives Southern short fields. If Musa is a turnover machine, which he's been in the first half, and you allow Southern to get up on you early, 10-3, 14-7, 14-3, then and you give them confidence, Musa's going to get tight. I believe that. You know what I'm saying? So if everything is everything, this game is lost. This game is a win easily. Easily.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I just think this is FAMU's year. I think we understand what the stakes are. And again, I'm going to go back to Perry. This FAMU understand this is a big game. This is a rivalry game for us. So again, when you look at our schedule, you see Jackson State, you know you're going to circle that.
Yeah.
You're going to circle the Southern game, and you're going to circle Bethune-Cookman game.
Yeah.
So those are three games. I know our team is going to come in and say we are ready to play because we want to win those games.
Absolutely. Call lines are open 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. We're going to do a quick recap. I wanted to add this so people don't have to go through all the picks. You can just skip to the end of this thing and you can see what me and Perry picked. So I got Grambling over Alcorn. FAMU, he has Southern. We picked the same with Alabama State. I wasn't supposed to show you. I got A&M because I was supposed to pick it against me.
I'm gonna tell you, we already kind of
I got A&M. He got Jackson. He has NCCU. I have Elon, Morgan, and I have Central Connecticut. He has Delaware. And I think he changed that pick to you changed one pick, right?
I took Tennessee State off and I went with Kennesaw State.
Okay, so you went with Kennesaw over Tennessee State. So those are our picks for the week. Just want to do a quick recap and all of that. So let's get some of these callers. 7848 coming to you.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mr. Wade, I'm calling from Orlando, Florida, Jackson State fan. I know you don't like Jackson State. You don't give them a lot of credit, but it's good. I want to ask Mr. Campbell, you're from Mississippi, and how did you become a FAMU fan? How did that happen?
Well, I'm a FAMU alum. And what happened was, and everybody knows my family, I have 100 family members starting in 1938 attended Jackson State, but I got a scholarship to go to FAMU. And FAMU has the top business school in the country. So I went down to our School of Business and Industry, and that's how I ended up at FAMU. But I always have, it's no secret, I love Jackson State. Jackson State has done everything for my family, and I'm a big supporter of Jackson State. So that's how I ended up.
I just want to say, Scotty, I really miss Kofi, and he's very much missed. I also want to say, Mr. Campbell, what is going on still? I watched the Alcorn. I think was Alabama State was Alcorn this weekend.
Yeah.
And I looked at the stands and the attendance. It was very, very sad. Is that something we still going to have to struggle with when it comes to HBCUs? I know Alabama A&M had a big crowd this weekend, but that Alcorn Alabama State game for a home game at Alabama State, that was very, very sad.
Well, I think Perry could speak to this too. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've been to every HBCU stand. I've been to every game. There are only really 3 traditional teams that bring people. That's Southern, that's Jackson State, and that's FAMU. I'm talking about they're just going to pack it game in, game out. And I'm going to just tell you something. No disrespect to Alabama State. They don't have a football tradition. They don't have a football tradition. So when you're looking at the traditional football schools, they're going to bring people. They've won championships. And also the schools, they also have dynamic bands. So they have the whole HBCU atmosphere. So when you get a school like Alabama State, they see Alcorn, yeah, okay, we'll kind of get up there. And then they say, oh, the Magic City Classic. But I tell you what, Alabama State brought a whole bunch of people down to FAMU. So I think it's also the matchup that come along with it. I think when we look, it's no different than, and it kind of cracked me up, all the people at Jackson State, they were like, oh, I can't believe they don't care about Bethune-Cookman. That's why they didn't have 50,000 people in there. If that had been Grambling, they would have had more people. So I think it always has to do with matchups. I think that happens with all levels of schools.
Okay, you guys keep up the good work. I appreciate it, Scotty.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Mr. Sergeant, coming to you.
All right. Mr. Campbell.
Yes, sir. Let's go, Rowley.
How are you?
Hey, man, we here. Usually we in the building. You know what I'm saying? We outside, so that's what we here to do.
We outside.
All right. Well, Scotty, I told you I was going to be here this evening, and so I got only one thing to say. Perry, I've been looking for you, Negro.
What?
White towel. You know it's the wrong color. It needs to be orange and green, and you need to go ahead and put it on top of your head like a headband, because y'all finna lose this weekend. You gonna take the bet?
He trying to bet me?
Yeah, trying to bet you.
Yeah,
I'm not betting nobody calling me a Negro. Okay.
Better than the N-word. That's what he said.
You know,
he had to go all or nothing. That I can't do that right there. He didn't go all the way with it. I can't do. I ain't taking no bet with you.
He was trying to quote you, Perry, when you were, did the famous term when you were talking about Mike. That's where that came from.
Yeah, I know y'all. They don't like when I.
Right.
Yeah. No, I ain't taking no bet with you, man.
All right, no worries, brother.
Don't sound too confident.
I just wanted to use your line.
I appreciate you.
See,
you got to say it the right way next time, though. That's the only way you can get the real feel for it.
See, Sarge, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's lack of confidence. That's what that is. You could have said Mr. Perry, Mr. White. He wasn't gonna take that bet. He ain't gonna take that bet.
Nah, he ain't gonna
Especially after he had to put that Jack State shirt on. After he had to put that Jack State shirt on, he don't want to put nobody else shirt on after that.
What do you want to bet? What you want to bet?
Mr. Sergeant, he said, what you want to bet?
You know, Perry, Perry, there's people you can see. There's places you can go to help you with that post-traumatic stress disorder you got after putting on that Jackson State shirt.
What do you want to bet?
No, it was just a headband, the headband bet. Orange and green with a big F on it, or a hat with an F on it. I don't like when I watch the show. And by the way, Scotty, your production is excellent. The way your camera is, I can't see the shirt or whatever, because I noticed that when Mike Reed had his on. But if you put a hat on, then there's no way that you can't see the big FAMU or 1887 in orange and green. So you can't hide that. That's what the bet was about.
No bueno.
All right. I love you guys. Oh, wait. I do want to say something about the first thing you talked about. I think when coaches have problems with each other, they have to remember they're on TV and everybody can see them. Ephesians tells us if you have a problem with someone, you need to pull people over to the side and have a one-on-one conversation with them. I think that was maybe something he could have waited off camera to deal with. I think that's kind of how you do that, because people can make mistakes, but you want to preserve the relationship and the friendship. That's somebody you go to work with every day, and you don't want them to feel a different type of way working with you because you couldn't control yourself over, was obviously an important call, but you want to maintain the relationship, because that guy could go get a job at ASU next year.
That's fair. No, that's fair. Hey, appreciate the call, though, Mr.
You know what I'm
Sergeant.
saying? He could be at Alabama State next year. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out. Otherwise, man, as always, great show. Everybody who's listening, please get the likes up. I mean, I'm not a paying person right now. I'm trying to get that together. But if I know I'm not paying, so I'm definitely hitting the like button. Y'all hit the like button. I'm out. Peace.
Appreciate it. He said it's not part of his spending budget. Anyway, I mean, listen, for me, it's very simple. I'm not doing no more shirts. I ain't done. Listen, that PV thing really scarred me. I don't even.
And it cost you money.
Dog. And I had to buy it, and then people gonna get mad at me because Amazon took 2 weeks to get it to me. I'm like, bro.
They want you to do express shipping.
For a PV shirt. Man, they out there cotton.
That only 8 people gonna see anyway? Come on, man.
Not gonna do that. 5115 coming to you. Hey, your background's pretty loud. What's up? Hello?
Oh, what up, Scotty?
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what up, Scotty? Hey, this is Jamon. I'm calling out Baton Rouge. You know that.
What's up, Jay?
See, I only got one question, bro.
What's up?
Is you and Key coming down with Mr. Campbell?
Nah, man.
I know you the FAMU guy. You and Lit, man. And I know Key the Southern lady.
She listen.
Y'all not coming down, bro?
Nah, man. The only day we was really supposed to come down was for her birthday. We supposed to come for our Southern's homecoming, but just with the kids, man, it's a hard move.
Oh, okay. I got you, bro. I thought we was gonna be able to see y'all, bro. That would have been a good one for the come to.
Oh man, that joke would have been super lit. I would have loved to see Southern lose in person. That joke would have been nice.
Hey, I ain't gonna see all that, bro. But yeah, man. That's the only thing I had. Hey, shout out to Mr. Campbell. Hey, we're gonna test drive that Cadillac when you come down here, bro.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Unless you pretty thick, that's the only person that drive my truck. Hey, bro, my insurance don't play that. Especially you folks down the South, y'all don't know how to drive anyway. Y'all be having dents and stuff in y'all car. No, bro. I see how y'all come. You can take a picture of it, but you dang sure can't drive it.
All right, bro.
Put that up on the screen. I want to talk about that's something right that was kind of important right there. I want to address this because I don't know how many people saw this. I sent this to you.
Yeah.
So Coach Simmons, there was a FAMU rattler, and this is what y'all Gen Z folks do. You get on there, you want to at the person, and y'all ain't think nobody's gonna respond back. Well, my coach basically said that the scouts come down to see Musa, and that Musa is his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. What do I think about that? I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Coach Simmons sees these quarterbacks every day in practice. It is very clear that Musa must be the best quarterback. Because do you think that Coach Simmons would not play another quarterback if he thought he was better? He sat Rashawn McKay down. Did he not? So this is my thing. You got to roll with the guy you go with. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. I think Coach Simmons understands the pulse of this team. I think if he makes a change like that, especially when they're winning, I think he feels he might lose this team. Because then it looks like he's just reacting to what people are saying.
Yeah.
So I think what Coach Simmons really did, and I'm going to salute, because like I said, I've known Coach Simmons since he was at Clemson, but I think what it was really smart is that he went out there because it has been, everybody, all the alumni have their own little chats, right?
Yeah.
And trust me, we've been trashing Musa. Ain't no doubt about it. We've been killing him. But the thing about he sees that too. And I think what happens is he wanted his quarterback to know, don't worry about that. I need you focused.
Yeah.
I need you to play this game, and I need you to keep doing what you're doing. So what we're asking Musa to do is to be a great game manager. Keep the train on the tracks. So, yeah, and this is what I'm going to say to all the fan base. When y'all be out here adding these coaches thinking you're doing some big talk, don't get mad when those coaches slap back at you.
Boy, listen.
And when they clap back, because, see, this is my problem with this Gen Z, millennial generation. Y'all are quick to at people and stuff like that, but y'all don't want to pick up the phone and call nobody. Y'all don't want to pick up the phone, but y'all are quick to at people. So stop adding people and all that thinking that you're doing big talk because you're going to get embarrassed. And somebody one day going to come in there and smack the ass out you. But I'm one of them people. I ain't got no time. My phone number is public. If you got anything to say to me, you can call me anytime. Well, you can find me and all that.
I'll tell you this. Listen, I just want somebody to love me like Willie loved Musa. That's
hey, listen.
Out loud in public.
Out loud. And tell you that you look good even though you got pimples on your face. But listen,
I tell you.
But see, that's good coaching. That is because he knows this team has to stay together. And it's going to require Musa to be confident that, because you know what, because here's another thing too, and you know this, and Perry knows this too. If Musa is looking over his back, thinking that he makes a mistake,
somebody coming.
Yeah, coming. Guess what he gonna do? Make even more mistakes.
Yeah. Ask Alabama A&M how that's been going for him.
Thank you.
And all that back and forth, back and forth, and Alabama State. Let me, Perry, before we get up out of here, give me your keys to victory for Southern. What do they need to do to win, and what will happen?
I think for Southern, the keys to victory is Eric Dooley's going to have to find a way to commit himself to the run game. Try to be able to sustain drives. Don't do 3 and outs, and don't put yourself in a turnover situation. You want to keep the ball out of FAMU's hand as long and as best as possible. And you don't be wanting to punt to FAMU because it's special teams, right? I'll take my opportunities on the kickoff if we score, but then you got to plan how you want to do the kickoff. Don't just kick it off to anybody. I'm okay with us being able to have some type of strategy in the kickoff game because we know that FAMU is explosive in the return game. But you also don't want to have to be punting the ball to the whole game. So you got to be methodical in terms of the way that you're going down the field and not going 3 and out. And you don't want to have to turn the ball over and give FAMU short field position. I think Southern is going to have to try to play keep away in this ball game, play keep away from FAMU's offense. I like Southern's defense. If I have to rely and put my hat on something to hang it, it'll be Southern's defense. But the keys to the game is going to have to be Harold Blood playing an efficient game like he had last week at UAPB. I don't know how much of a tall order is that to ask of him, especially limiting his turnovers. But if he does anything like he did last week, minus that 1 interception, that's the type of day that you're looking for. Garrett Quarles as well with 100 yards rushing. But he's going to need Kendrick Rhymes, Kobe Dillon, or somebody to be right there to be able to help back him up, to help sustain drives. So Southern's going to have to be able to run the ball and limit his turnovers and not give up big plays in special teams. And I think Southern can have a battle. They can fight for themselves if they cannot turn the ball over, give up those special team plays, and just be able to sustain drives and not go 3 and out. Because I know Dooley sometimes he likes to just go ahead and chunk it, and before you know it, 3 and out. Southern's getting rid of the ball. And you don't want FAMU to have the ball all day. You want to kill FAMU in the time of possession in this ball game.
Okay. What's your keys to victory, Mr.
Well, I think the keys is once again, it all lies with Musa. Don't turn the ball over. And I'll tell you another thing too. FAMU has got to be way more disciplined on both sides of the ball.
Good.
We have had so many penalties that have stopped drives and have gotten touchdowns called back. And when you look at a team that has had this many seniors, juniors, guys that should know the offense, they shouldn't be concerned jumping off sides and then also hitting people out of bounds. Those are the things that have kept teams in games. And those are the things that actually should have lost a couple of games that we played. So my thing is we got to be more disciplined. We got to not turn the ball over. And I would like to see another thing too, I would like to see the run game so we can start doing a little bit more play action. I think if we could get some play action going, we could kill Southern DBs. Because I think that Southern DBs is not good to me. They're not good to me. I think Jackson State showed a little bit of that. And I think we got better wide receivers in Southern. Than Jackson State.
I think for me is I was just a little shocked when Perry said, play keep away, and that's not Dooley's style. That to me that's asking Dooley to be something that he's not. If it was Dawson Odoms, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. You just keep away all day long. But I don't see Dooley completely changing up his offense to play keep away and play a time of possession game. I just think okay. The same way I feel about Dooley is the same way I feel about Willie committing to the run. That's just that's just not their thing. They go with what they do, and which is passing the ball. They want to pass it. So to me, it's just who has the better passing attack.
Which coach do you trust more?
That's a damn good question.
Because we've heard that Willie's going to Willie, but we damn sure heard Dooley going to Dooley. Have we not?
That should be on the shirt this week. Willie gonna Willie, Dooley gonna Dooley.
Man, that's a tough one. That's a good question. That's a tough one.
Willie Simmons has done better at finessing. It's just like when he finesse, he just like Willie Simmons don't never have to buy a ticket to go nowhere. He'll find a way to get in, right? It's like Dooley will stand out because it's like, who is this nigga with all these? He just stands out, so he can't quite finesse the same way as Willie. Willie can get in, I think, in any event. Dooley will give himself away just because he's attention. You know, you see what he has on, and when I translate that to the football field, You've seen Coach Simmons be able to get victories, and they've been ugly. He's like, how the hell did FAMU win? For Southern, it has not been how the hell did Southern win. It was like, why the hell did Southern lose? It has been the complete opposite, but that's why I say the fire has to be under Dooley, because all eyes are going to be looking at this game for him. And I know what I'm saying in terms of playing keep away. Like you said, that does not sound like a Eric Dooley thing, but Eric Dooley's way has put him behind the 8 ball many times, over and over and over.
That's
so
fair.
Try something different, Coach Dooley, and listen to your boy Perry White, all right? And let's maybe they give you a fighting chance in this ball game, because you don't want to go out throwing this thing all over the place, finding yourself in 3 and outs, putting Harold Blood in positions of turning the ball over, and then having to give up in the punt return game in terms of special teams, giving FAMU that opportunity, explosive as they are in that area, to give them opportunities to score. You want to take your time, play keep away, play time of possession in this game, because you got to be smart against a team like FAMU. You just can't come out and think you're just going to try to thump with them. You got to go out there and play a different type of game, because everybody knows Dooley's game. That's why I say switch it up. Everybody who has watched film on Coach Eric Dooley already knows what he wants to do, right? Am I lying? You know his style of play.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, for me, if I like what Mr. Kincaid said, who do you trust calling plays? I trust Willie. I think if you talking about somebody that can dial it up, like he can dial it up.
Listen, Willie's play call is not the problem. It's Musa executing the play call.
Well, I disagree. It's yes, okay. I don't disagree. I agree. But there are times where you're like, bro, just run the ball.
But I guess what I'm saying is, if Musa would execute the plays, then you would have 40-point games. Then that. But see, what happens to your point is then when Musa doesn't execute and then you don't call the right play or don't stay with something,
it goes down.
It exponentially exposes like, we're in trouble. Because that's the thing that everybody from FAMU has looked at. Not one time I've heard a FAMU fan say, as walk out the game happy. They always are still complaining, and they got every right to.
I mean, but yeah, fans are gonna be fans. I listen. It's one time I've seen Dooley dial it up, and that was against PV Jackson, where he did that running back, the running back pass when he tossed it to the running back. They overcommitted through the pass. I'm like, he dialed that up. Like I've seen Willie dial it up. Like I'm like. Come out of a tight, a timeout, and you're like, oh man, that's a dope play action, rollout, bootleg, all that type of stuff. The one where he did at the Florida Classic where Xavier Smith was wide open, just him and Jesus, the play action post. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen him do that. So for me, if I'm gonna trust the coach, I'm gonna trust Willie. One, because of his resume of winning at FAMU, and Dooley just doesn't have that for me. And to me, I agree with Jamon. I think Dooley's stubbornness is going to be it gets the best. Like Willie is stubborn, and Dooley are both stubborn, but Willie has the result,
and Willie will adjust because he will adjust.
He has he has.
That's my point.
With Rashawn McKay, having guys like Rashawn McKay and understanding he can't throw the ball like he wants to, so you run the ball. When you see Dooley with a Rashawn McCray and you see him try to force a square into a round hole, it's just like I'm not seeing it. Let me get to this caller real quick. 5936 coming to you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You're live.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up, Coach Pep?
Coach Pep.
What's up, Coach Pep?
Yeah. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm doing well.
How you doing, Mr. Campbell?
Coach, you sound
amazing. How you doing, Terry? All right.
Good evening.
Scotty, I have to take my hat off to you. You picked that Alcorn peer-review game to the teeth. You said that it was going to come down to the quarterback play. They won 23-20. But I got the question to ask you.
Take your time, Coach.
What school do you think Cam Newton would best fit? Alabama State, Alcorn. I got another question to ask you. What school do Deion Sanders give the bag to next year's SWAC student?
I think he gives the bag to Prairie View because they have a connection. They do the camp down there. It seemed like him and Bubba have a real good friendship. I don't think FAMU would take that. I don't think any
other than Prairie View.
I don't think
take that. I think those SWAC coaches would be like, heck no.
Yeah, I think Prairie View would take that call. I really do believe that. I think Bubba McDowell wouldn't have a problem going out there. I'm gonna answer your question, Coach Pep. I think Cam Newton at Alabama State works well because of just Montgomery and the stadium size. I think it works well. Now, I personally think he needs to be at NCAT. I think Cam Newton in the state of North Carolina, woo-wee. I've always been on that bandwagon. But I think if you're giving me a choice between Alcorn and Alabama State have the resources.
Close to Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? And I think you get you get a lot of what you want when you combine those two schools together. So I think it'll be and Alabama's a great recruiting ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Great recruiting ground.
And again, let's say what you just said. He played at Auburn.
Oh yeah, right down the street. So
he can. And I'm gonna tell you this: what's crazy, which I thought Eddie George was going to get more support from Ohio State. I thought I would see a little bit more, like the guys. But I'm not saying he does. But I'm talking about more visible. But I'm telling you something about them rednecks down there at Auburn. If he goes down there, they will bring the house down there to him. They will bring him everything that he needs. Trust me.
I like that. That's a good one, Coach Pep. I like that.
All right.
Appreciate the call, Coach Pep.
All right.
Man, Coach Pep sounds good. All right. Yeah. Hey, Perry, what you got, man? We want to get up out of here.
Let's go, Jags.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see your sad face on Monday. What you got, Mr. B?
Hey, man, I just got to say it again. Angels in the outfield.
Yeah.
You know this is a game that Kofi would love. He would talk about the band tradition. He would talk about all that. And I'm just telling you, Angels in the outfield again. I would not be shocked. The first play of the game, we run it back, and then once again, it gets rolling. Yeah. So, like I say, this game is one of those games for Kofi. I think it's one of those ones that we keep on track. And like I said, Perry, once again, I appreciate you allowing me to come into your house and having a little bit of fun.
I'm still surprised that this dude talking about I've been looking for you, Negro. Like that one got me, man. I never heard it.
You set the joke up. You set it up, and he was trying to run the joke back at you, though, man.
But it was so proper, though. Like he ain't have no ratchetness to him with it. You gotta come. You gotta bring that from deep down in your black soul.
That's what made it funny.
He did sound like a FAMU engineer when he did that.
That's what makes it funny. It's the properness.
Well, I've been looking for you, Negro.
That's the properness. That's what made it funny.
You can't.
You have your version, right? And then he has his version, which is for the proper people, right? For like the old people. They be like, oh, I like that. Oh,
but you know what you should do? Capture that sound bite and start using it from now on. When you have somebody else, I've been looking for you, Negro. That's what you should start using from now on.
I said, behold.
When you come back on Monday and y'all got an L,
I said, behold.
Southern ain't caught that L. I said, behold.
Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna be real. I'm looking forward to a good game, man. FAMU been paying attention to them all year, man. Of course, they was the team I had coming out of the SWAC East. Southern has not really lived up to the expectations so far this year, but they won the last two games against A&M, against UAPB, and I just feel it seems like if they're not on the right track, they're getting on the right track. And I just saw that with Harold Blood last week with where he was at. I'm liking this matchup, though. I feel confident with Southern. These are two teams that picked to win their division. Southern was picked to win this division in the West, and Southern right now is tied with Grambling at 2-0 in SWAC play. They're both at the top of the division right now, and FAMU on the other side at number one by themselves. This is a matchup. Grambling's not playing FAMU this year, right? So this is an opportunity for Southern to go ahead and do what it has to do to show. And for Eric Dooley, most importantly, get you a marquee win as a Southern University head football coach. Enthuse the fan base again. Get us back into it because right now Southern's fan base is not into it. They're all on the fence and they're looking at, hey, when is this thing going to end? So if Eric Dooley wants to get people back in the fold, he has to be able to. That's a damn lie. Y'all don't know UAPB student energy until you step foot on that campus off of North University Drive in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and see it for yourself. This is not that. All right, just letting you know.
This is not the same, man.
No, you don't know that energy until you have to deal and see. See, they just talking. This is far from that energy right there. They don't even talk at UAPB, right? If had you asked the keys to the game, they would have said nothing.
They don't have any keys. They lost them.
Yeah. So now this ain't that. I'm just letting you know we're in a position because we already on the fence with Dooley. People got to understand that too, where we at. It ain't that nobody's scared. It's just we kind of ready to unplug. You know how you almost ready to unplug that thing? Like, I'm gonna give you one more chance, nigga. Like, what you gonna do? Like, but unfortunately, what can we do? But sit back and wait. We already on the fence because of an 0-2 start.
Listen, I'll say this. The crazy thing about it is where, like, Grambling, if Grambling rooting the hell out this game.
Rooting for FAMU.
If you guys lose this game and Grambling beats Alcorn, they are moonwalking to the SWAC championship. Like, legitimately, you beat PV, we beat Alcorn. They just got to see you in the Bayou Classic, and I mean, it's smooth sailing. So if I'm a Grambling fan right now, if you got some juju, I'll be sprinkling it all over Southern because, I mean, this is.
I'm glad you brought that up before we leave. Listen how lucky Grambling is. They don't have to play Jackson State in the conference. They don't have to play FAMU.
Nope.
But guess what? Southern had to play FAMU
and Jackson,
and PV has to play FAMU at home. So those are losses that Grambling can stack without even having to play. They've already beat PV. So again, if PV loses to FAMU, which they will playing us at homecoming, that's a wrap. They're out. Southern, this game right here, they lose this game, and then hey, this is what we really want. Wouldn't that be nice at the end of the Bayou Classic finally mean something for the first time?
Oh yeah, it's gonna mean something. It's gonna mean something this year. Oh, it's gonna mean something this year.
I think it's two schools that's gonna be really paying attention to this game. Grambling's gonna be paying attention to Southern in this game, and Jackson's gonna be paying attention to FAMU in this game because Jackson is looking for FAMU to slip up. Yeah. And they feel if there's gonna be a team that can get them to slip, this will be the one. Yep. Other than that, it seems like it's going to be smooth sailing for FAMU. So Jackson, for me, is going to probably be pulling for Southern in this game, whether they want to admit it or not. But they know damn well this is what they want. And Grambling is going to be pulling for FAMU because guess what? This opens up the door for them because Grambling does not have to see Jackson nor FAMU this year. So there's some implications with other teams that's going to be watching, especially in the positions that it can set them up in by Sunday once this thing is over with.
It's gonna be. Listen, this is a very pivotal game, and even the Grambling and Alcorn game, that is just as pivotal because Alcorn wins that. They have the head-to-head. Grambling beat PV. They got the head-to-head. Then that PV and Alcorn game. I think PV won that game against Alcorn, so they got that head-to-head. So
when does Alcorn play Southern?
It'll be a while.
Later season. So I mean, that sets it up,
man. So if it can get really ugly really quickly, if Grambling loses and Southern loses, it can get really ugly really quickly, and you'll be in a situation to where, like, last year when y'all backdoored your way into the championship, where people losing and y'all sliding in, it could be a lot of those situations to where you lose this game and we go. If they lose, they go. So it can get crazy. As much as it can be Grambling's easy sailing. If Grambling doesn't handle their business and Southern and Southern loses, it's still wide open. Yeah. The season's still wide open. So
and let me give you guys where I'm at with it right now. I know they may not seem like this is the classic shit talking Perry tonight, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm just like most of the Jaguar Nation right now. I mean, we really don't know where we stand.
Yeah.
This is. I told you a couple weeks ago. I had Alabama A&M people calling in here, talking noise to me,
and they was talking, wasn't he?
So can you understand where we at now? That's something I've never seen. So you can understand where we at as a fan base. We kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out because 3 weeks ago this thing was starting to catch on fire. They was throwing the gasoline on it. It was like, Dooley, all right. You talked about it on here, talking about the checks was been ready to get, somebody's ready to write the checks.
Yeah.
So we're still like in a holding pattern as a fan base. Yeah, we're always going to have the arrogance about ourselves. We're going to always shit talk. But right now where we at as a fan base is deciding where we want to move in terms of forward with our program. And this is not a position we've been in a long time to where we're sitting back and we don't really know who we are. We don't really have an identity as a program right now. And it's hard to just for me to come on and just bash back. I could have did that against Jackson State. That was the second game of the season.
Yeah.
Now we're rolling into the season and we still don't really know who we are. So we're kind of just like a holding pattern. I'm going to talk shit. I still pick Southern, but Dooley is still having to fight for us to trust in him as well. You know, and so that's just where we at. That's real.
It's gonna be.
And most of the fan base, I think, if you look at them, feel the same way as well when it comes to this team and when it comes to Dooley. And he has to reel us back in with a marquee victory. We know about the smaller schools, but he has to get us in. I don't think it's necessarily nervous. We're just looking at our coach like, what you gonna do? We're not nervous. I mean, shit, we lost to Bama State. I mean, what more do you want? It ain't nervous. It's just, Dooley, what you gonna do, bro? We waiting on you. What you gonna do?
Listen, I think this is a great. To me, I think this will be a great statement game for FAMU.
Yeah,
to be like, hey, I listen. If Southern comes out on top of this, you have to reevaluate what Southern is. You have to reevaluate what Southern is, and I think the funny thing about this, if Southern beats FAMU, I think FAMU doesn't have to reevaluate anything.
No,
but they will have to figure out why can't we do what. Does Musa need to be changed? Because I think it's going to be a Musa situation if FAMU loses this. If Southern loses this game, I think you got to reevaluate the whole team.
Well, see, this is the great thing about when you win certain games. Because the flip side of we can lose this game, win out, we still get East champions.
Still good.
We still East champions. So that's the thing about, but for us, I don't even want to come down there because, again, it's about building the team to get to be a champion.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to play around with this game when I feel that we have the better team, better defense, the better offense. All the things are lining up. Go down there, handle your business, beat this team like you beat them before, and then keep the train on the track so you can have the magical season that everybody wants.
That's what it comes down to.
Hey, I want to make one last thing, and this is more of a public service announcement to being an HBCU alum. I don't know how many of you all know this, but the new senator from California is a Jackson State alum.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So that, once again, I see all these people come in the chat talking about what HBCUs ain't. How many of your schools got a United States senator? Last I checked, the vice president went to HBCU, and now a woman,
black woman,
from Magnolia, Mississippi, is the senator of the great state of California. That shows you the greatness of HBCU education.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. So I want to say that congratulations to her. And once again, this is the reason why we go to HBCUs. This is what's amazing about our HBCU community, because we do great things. We do the most with the least. So big shout out to her.
Absolutely. All right, guys, listen, you already know what it is. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, as always.
I love
coming through. You gonna be here for if y'all win or lose?
You know, I got you. Listen, I first of all, y'all know I'm coming back because we winning. So I'm gonna be here. But if we lose, I'm gonna be a man to come back. I gotta let my brother. So you know, I came back with Mike. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta come back. And you know what? Because I guess, we'll play, because we got actually a big game. We play Alabama A&M that next game. I think
A&M and then PV. I think.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'll be back on next Monday, and then you guys won't see me until probably the Bethune game. So you probably won't. But you know what, though? I don't even know why you. But I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you this. This is what's sneaky. I might have to come back depending on what the standards look like. Because if Alabama A&M actually beats Jackson State, I might. Because you know the Alabama A&M folks were talking a lot of smack. They were talking. So I might have to roll back. The Cadillac might have to roll back down south one more time.
Hit them up in Huntsville.
Hit them up in Huntsville.
All right, man. We'll see. But we know what Perry be here. Monday,
Dooley ass to be on that hot seat. He lose this game. I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all don't know how we feeling this Jaguar Nation right now. The fact that A&M fans was talking noise to us, we just in a peculiar
situation. It's Southern than PV.
Okay. We got a bye week
right now, bro.
I'll still be back. You know what I mean? I'll still be back.
Listen, it's nothing better than seeing some sad Jags.
Oh, yeah, that's what. All those Jags, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, and you know, let me tell you how I know the Jags are not confident. Ain't none of them fools hit me about no bet. They were talking. They were doing. They were betting big money the last 2 years. I ain't had one Jag say, Mr. Campbell, I bet you 500. I bet you 100. See, when they had to send me all that money last year,
they was like, let me hold up.
And then, 2 years ago, when I went down there and took them dancing dolls back and went to Waffle House, so they didn't want no more parts of that. So yeah, so them Jags, they ain't too confident because they ain't putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
Because y'all already seen, we've been on Dooley, man. It's like I say, it's a tough spot. Dooley got to prove to us. He got to reel us back in.
I hear you.
I love my institution. My loyalty lies within the institution, not an individual. So I'm going to be Southern all day. I'm going to talk shit about Southern for Southern all day. But sometimes when it has to lie within the individual, it makes it tough. And the individual that's right now, that's kind of making it tough for us.
Okay. Well,
I ain't never said Jags about 40.
Exactly. Because he know better. He know that ain't happening.
They barely getting over 20. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take about 3 more games because he said it keep making.
By Bayou Classic, we should be going.
Oh, okay.
If that's the case.
5 more games from now, we should be rolling.
Oh, man.
Season might be over by then. Dooley might be fired.
Boy, that thing would be funny, boy. We're going to get up out here. Y'all stupid. All right, listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.
I said, be home.